Air traffic control, this is Alpha 254, requesting clearance for departure. Roger that. Are clear. Proceed to runway 5. السيارة جاهزة للسفر. لازم نتحرك. لازم نتحرك. لازم ننجح للمسجد كمان. نعم سيدي. نعم سيدي. Alpha 10, we are clear for departure. Please take it. سيدي، الاستخبارات وتجهيزات كاملة. ايوه، الصاروخ جاهز ومصلح. هلا تستنى الكلمة من شهيد.
If anyone is to blame for these events, Mr. Thornton, it is you. Alpha Protocol began here, after all.
I feel like I've been hit by a freight train.
Good. You're awake. I wasn't sure how long you'd be under. Those tranquilizers wore off fast.
Where am I?
You're locked in our medical bay. And when the guards find out you've regained consciousness, they'll put you under again.
Don't want that. Any reason why you're helping me?
Mina. Let's just say I'm not a fan of the indoctrination procedure here.
All the more reason to leave, then.
And how do you propose to do that? You're locked in. There's a guard outside. Eventually he's going to come check on you. And when he does...
Can you distract the guard? Unlock the door.
I could. A glitch in the security panel in the hall outside might do it. As long as you don't make too much noise when you leave, you might take him by surprise while he's checking it. Disabling the security system now. The door should be unlocked.
Any sign of our new arrival?
No sign of him yet.
Careful, Mike. Truck coming in. And guards at the exit. Try to stay out of sight if you can.
Mike, that's enough.
That's enough? I think that's my line. What the hell's going on? Why did you drug me?
We need to get the location of this facility confidential, especially if you got kidnapped and questioned.
I don't give up government secrets.
I believe you. Everyone says that during the first hour of interrogation.
So this is all part of the orientation?
Yep. I'm gonna ask you some questions, run you through some more tests, then you and I can talk. Face to face. That make you feel better?
I'm ready. What tests?
Not a physical, if that's what you're thinking.
No, I figured that was all done while I was unconscious.
And then some. We ran your blood work, checked your vitals. You seem healthy. Just one thing we should check. Your psych profile. I've been reading and rereading your dossier. Your file's got a lot of gaps in it. A lot more than I usually see in field agents. Those gaps were hard to fill.
I thought those records were buried.
We're pretty good at digging.
The ops needed to be done. Whatever they were.
Looks like they were sad to see you go. And probably happy at the same time. But you wouldn't be a good field agent if your boots didn't get dirty. If you gain more experience in the field, you may want to specialize further. But we can leave that until you've got some missions under your belt. That's it. Now I'm gonna let you out of the pen here and meet the rest of the crew.
All right. Is there anything I should know?
Nothing you can't find out on your own, and from the staff here. They'll be running you through the basics of weapons, gadgets, and espionage tactics. When you're cleared on the basics, come find me for your assignment. I won't lie to you, Mike. It's a big one, and dangerous. But I think you're the man for the job. Make the rounds. I'll see you soon.
Our war does not end here. This target is not the last. With our will and our resolve, Al-Samad shall continue these attacks, fight the aggression of the West with its own weapons. Yes, for weapons have been delivered to us. Weapons that will make a graveyard in the skies of our enemies. We have the ability to strike far and to strike swiftly. There are no limits to our reach, no limits to the justice we bring in the name of freedom for our people. I am a man of my word. And this I promise you. This attack is but the first that Al-Samad brings.
Hello? Anybody shooting in here?
Agent Thornton. Hello.
Hey. Hey, you're the one I spoke to when I woke up in the medical bay. Glad that wasn't a hallucination.
It may have been. Do you remember my name? Or do I need to write it down for you?
Mina, right?
That's right. Good to see you've recovered from the medical room with your memory intact.
Memory intact? Speaking of which, I don't remember where I left my keys. Or my passport.
Confiscating personal items is quite routine. I wouldn't worry about that. But let's get down to the task at hand. I'm here to run you through the weapons training and test your accuracy.
All right, what's the next step?
Just head through the door to the firing range, and I'll keep in contact with you over the earpiece. Head over to the table, get your weapons, and we can begin. The standard field agent package includes a pistol, SMG, shotgun, and assault rifle. Each has its strengths and weaknesses. Let's start with the pistol. Good, Mike. I'm logging the results now.
All right. Is somebody out on the course?
Darcy. He's trying to beat your time.
Darcy? Who the hell is that?
Our tech instructor. Very insecure.
Well, how's he doing?
Not well. He's distracted.
Why?
As soon as he knew you were talking to me, Mike, he was in here in a second, in case he saw you as a challenge for my affections. It's like a cage match with you boys.
So how'd I do on the course?
Calling it up now. Might still be feeling the effects of the drugs. It's definitely affecting your aim. You can give it another run if you want. The course should be free.
I'll pass.
Very well. I'll log your score. I'll have the results sent to your handler, and Westridge can give the rest of your evaluation, provided you've completed the other tests.
You guys must have spent a fortune on the TVs in this place.
You all done?
As much as I thought was necessary.
Good. I have to admit I was worried whether we'd be able to keep you here after you woke up in medical. You gave our staff a run for its money.
I gave it my best, and so did they.
Fair enough. It'll be a good excuse to up the morning drills around here. Mina's report says you might need more practice on the gun range, but you're probably still shaking off the drugs we gave you.
I'm still brushing up on my skills. Mina's a good teacher. I just need to be a better student.
She is a good teacher. She has a good eye for potential. I'll let her know your thoughts. Looks like that's it for the physical evaluation. Now for the hard part. Tell me why you're here. Not everyone gets chosen for this line of work, but you volunteered. Usually we have to ask.
I want to serve my country.
And you think by being assigned here is the best way to do that?
Give me a mission and I'll prove it.
What makes you think you're ready? Because I tell you, we get a lot of recruits in here, and you're not convincing me.
My opinion isn't important. Yours is.
Not out in the field, and not when you're dealing directly with others. Then your opinion is all that counts. Beyond the guns, tech, and sneaking around in the dark, there's one last part of this job that nobody else here quite gets.
I'm listening.
Good, because listening is a large part of it. The way you talk to people, your attitude.
That's what we're going to discuss now.
I'm not sure I understand. Is there something wrong with how I deal with people?
No, believe it or not, you're not here because you're a people person. You're here because your psych profile says you're skilled at manipulating others.
Was that a compliment?
You'll see. The way you project yourself definitely affects what people think of you, and your reputation with them.
And if I want to impress them?
You don't always want to or need to. Having a good or bad rep with someone can actually gain you different benefits. Sometimes you want to piss someone off so they can't think straight. Other times you want to build a strong rapport with someone and talk your way out of a bad situation. All depends on your objective. This goes for your handlers as well. We're going to be sending you into a lot of dangerous places, and your only backup is going to be who you're talking to on your headset. How you treat them is going to have an effect on the success of your mission.
So if I piss them off, I'm screwed?
No. A handler that likes you too much and puts emotions before the mission can be just as dangerous as one who resents you.
This is a long way of telling me that I should just act the way I want? And if I compromise an asset in the field by choosing the wrong path?
No, again, there are no bad choices, just results. Over time, folks may hear about you and your attitude before they meet you. They may have a preconceived notion of how you're going to treat them, which can affect their reaction.
Well, maybe they should take the time to know the real me.
If only. Time's something no one seems to be able to spare, especially during a conversation. Although that can be a plus.
If I need a breather to assess the situation, right?
The clock doesn't stop when you're speaking to someone. So if you need to get your second win before a fight, making small talk can buy you time.
But if I'm running on adrenaline, won't chatting take me off my guard?
It can. So if you need to get to the point, act instead of fight. For example, if you don't think I have any more to teach you, then you could just say, I'm done with this. I wouldn't think any less of you. You seem to have the basics down.
And if they're a target, why talk to them at all?
Sometimes it is better if you shoot first. Still, approaching someone to talk to them can allow you to get the drop on them if you get close enough to strike. Use it if you have to, if the conversation isn't going your way. Assuming there's even a way you want the conversation to go.
So how do I know how someone wants to be treated? At least enough to cooperate.
If that's what you want to do, pay attention to the clues in your environment. Sometimes people will have advice, and intel can help. But there's another way. Read much?
Yes, usually before I'm ordered to destroy the document.
There's a host of information out there through dossiers, email, and other documents that represent total research others have collected on a target, organization, or operation.
And what does that get me, exactly?
Sometimes you'll spot obvious triggers. People who don't respond well to smartasses, like me. Others who respect loyalty, duty, a professional approach. Others who don't have time for bullshit, and like it when you get to the point. But dossiers just don't contain psych information. They'll usually have combat information on your target as well. What side they favor, any past injuries, common weapons or tactics they use. Some of it blunt, some of it subtle. But if push comes to shove, it can give you an edge in combat. The more you've done your homework, the more vulnerable they'll be.
So when the guns come out, the dossier can come into play. Have you read mine?
Several times.
You have dossiers on everyone here?
Yep, if you can dig them up. You might learn a few things. Sometimes reading a dossier will give you more options when dealing with others. A few facts to bring up, to shake secrets loose.
What about you?
You should already know what makes me happy, Mike, and what pisses me off.
How do I know when I have the go-ahead to start accessing files?
After meeting a target or hearing their name referenced by someone else, you should have a target ID. Then hop onto the database and start doing your homework. You can usually unlock their basic information at that point. Let's start with a simple one. Al-Samad. That should be familiar to you.
The terrorist group.
Yes, you can research groups as well as people. It doesn't carry the same benefits, but it can provide useful intel in the field. Talking to people about others is a good way to help gain dossier information. Sometimes people will have information on someone that can unlock a brand new thread in your computer search.
Okay, so I've suffered through your interrogation and know how to give one if need be. Am I ready or not?
We'll see. Meet me in the command center, and I can give you a proper mission briefing.
Good, because I'm sick of this room.
Trust me, Mike. If it was up to me, you'd never see this interrogation cell again. Recognize him?
That Sheikh Ali Shahid, the voice of Al-Samad. They say he was responsible for shooting down that airliner in the Middle East.
Yeah, he got his hands on some prototype Halbeck technology. A missile with a multi-stage targeting system called Jacob's Ladder. That airliner was his first target.
Specs and shadiness of this whole thing aside, how did Shahid get his hands on that missile?
Missiles. He's got more. He stole them from Halbeck, and we need them back before he gets any more trigger-happy. Then we want you to kill him.
Understood, but if the opportunity presents itself, should I take him alive?
If you can. Either way, we want him out of the picture, and away from any more taped broadcasts.
If I can bring him back here, I will.
All right, then, pack your gear. You're heading to Saudi Arabia.
Not coming with me?
I'll be there in spirit, and on video and radio when needed, Agent.
And I just got here. Oh, well, I'm gonna miss this place.
I doubt it. I'll contact you when you reach Saudi Arabia.
Care to explain how Halbeck lost its missiles?
Old news. An accounting error.
The missiles. You didn't lose them, did you?
Angry, Mr. Thornton? Because of what happened in Saudi Arabia.
Mike, can you read me? I'm getting lots of interference.
I made it to Saudi Arabia, sir. I'm at the safe house.
I guessed that much. See any shadowy agents in trench coats at the airport?
No, sir, I don't think so.
That was a joke, Mike. But stay on your toes anyway. Finding Shahid is your primary objective. Trouble is, we don't know his location, but we have 3 leads. An arms dealer, Nasri, is believed to have sold the missiles to Shahid, and he's currently operating in Saudi Arabia. If you can intercept him, maybe he can tell you where Shahid is, or guide you to the missiles.
Do we have anything else on Nasri?
Nothing more than what's in his dossier. If you can manage to make any contacts and find out more, we'd welcome it. We also tracked down the location of an airfield Shahid used in the past. If you can sneak in and plant a listening device, we may be able to track flight Shahid is using to move through Saudi Arabia.
And the third lead?
We've got the coordinates of an Al-Samad detention camp, also used as a stockpile for weapons. We suspect the missiles may be stored there.
Is there any way to be sure the missiles are there?
Not at this time. The area is dug into the side of a canyon, and getting reliable satellite imagery when sandstorms aren't blowing has been almost impossible. We'll want you to go in alone, recon the area, and shut down their radar and communications. Once that's down, we can call in air support and hit the camp hard.
No pressure.
And no backup. Get used to it. It's the job. You check out your new home yet? It's got some perks you might be interested in.
Anything beyond the weapons locker?
Thought that might hold your attention.
It did? Anything else?
A computer with a hub connection so fast you'll feel like you're going back in time.
What, to the Stone Age? Please.
You can do dossier research, encrypted emails, and if need be, access some of the weapons dealers in the area. That'll be done on your own dime, however, using whatever funds you can find in Saudi Arabia.
I understand, sir. We wouldn't want Alpha Protocol tied to any weapons trafficking in the Middle East.
Exactly. The weapons locker you already found, help yourself to what's inside. Just be sure to choose the ammo and armor you think suits the mission. When you're ready to head out, just use the front door, or access the missions from the main terminal. I'll have already uploaded all the mission specs to your PDA. You can review them at any time.
Alright, so is that it?
Enjoying Saudi Arabia? I've been keeping an eye on your mission.
What do you think?
I think you're lucky. All I'm seeing are satellite images. Guess that'll have to do.
Speaking of which, anything new on Shahid or the other leads?
Not much more at the moment. I know Parker and Darcy are trying to dig up as much as they can through contacts and surveillance, though. Anything come up you need my help with?
So you've been with Alpha Protocol a while, then?
Not as long as Westridge, and not nearly as long as Parker. This assignment with Shahid is probably the biggest one I've been involved in.
What other assignments have you been on?
I went undercover with Parker in Milan as a contractor for Halbeck. It's how we found out the missiles were gone in the first place. Although it was too late to stop Shahid. The incident with the airliner...
Analysis takes time, and now we have more information to work with. He won't get away. Those missiles leave a trail even Al-Samad can't cover up.
I hope so. I just wish we'd gotten the intel quicker.
Still, with Alpha Protocol, what I don't understand is why the United States would want to keep this operation secret. Don't they want Shahid captured?
I think it's the missiles that are the problem. Helbeck's a substantial government contractor. The fact the missiles were involved complicates things.
Because the missiles are used by the U.S. military? I think the American public would understand if they were stolen.
I don't think so. And I think that's why the U.S. wants to keep this quiet. Alpha Protocol does a lot of operations like this. I don't know all of them, or all the names this program has had. It carries out missions without the knowledge of other U.S. agencies.
Like what, the CIA?
The CIA, the NSA. Most congressmen don't even have a clue this program exists. It's designed to prevent red tape. And if it's found out, it just gets buried and renamed.
Renamed? To Beta or Gamma Protocol?
No clue. Parker probably does. He's been here the longest. Whenever it's in danger of being exposed, it closes shop, and a new one opens up.
Interesting. I guess that's good to know. Wonder if I'd get a new name if Alpha Protocol shut down.
I don't know. We might get new names, new identities. Or fired.
Can you tell me anything about my mission here in Saudi?
Probably nothing Westridge hasn't explained already. If you infiltrate the airfield Shahid uses, I may have more practical advice.
Why is that?
I'll be your handler for that mission. Don't worry. I'll be gentle. I know it's your first time infiltrating an airfield.
As long as you're backing me up, I think I'll be in good hands.
That's very optimistic of you, Agent Thornton. But I appreciate the trust.
Can you tell me anything about Shahid?
Not much more than you'd find in his dossier. His personal fortune doubled in 1 year when gas was $4 a gallon. And he likes feeling safe when he travels.
What do you mean, safe?
While Al-Samad is mostly untrained civilians using Cold War guns, his personal bodyguards are well trained. And judging from the missile used on the airliner, let's just say he makes sure they have cutting-edge tech.
This seems like a big assignment for a new hire. There must have been other candidates.
There were other candidates, including Darcy. But the recommendation was based on Parker, Westridge, and me. Although when I made my recommendation, it wasn't about Shahid. It was about the larger mission.
So why me?
Because I think when given a choice, you're going to choose the people of a country over the heads of state. And that's not a choice many people here would make in the same circumstances. Especially Darcy. To be fair to Darcy, though, he has family issues that prevent him from going. Notably his father. According to your dossier, your family isn't an issue.
Is that all I am to you? A dossier?
Until you arrived at Alpha Protocol, you were. Not anymore. I think you're someone who does what's right. And that's what I'm counting on.
That's all I need. Thanks, Mina.
You got it. Call me if you need anything else. Try not to alert the camp. If you do, we may lose our chance to find Shahid.
I'm inside.
Sure is a lot of security.
Tell me about it. There's cameras all over the place.
It's bad. But it also means they've got something here worth protecting. Link's strong. We're good. Now get out of there. Mike, I see you made it back all right. Nothing on the channel about any disturbances at the airfield. Well done.
Security was a lot more than I was expecting. Forced me to be a little more cautious than normal.
I noticed the security. It may be a good sign. It means the airfield is important to Al-Samad. If this keeps up, we should be able to catch Shahid. And from there, recovering the missiles should be easy.
I won't relax until we have them both secured. Can't afford to get careless now. Is the bug transmitting?
Loud and clear, no problems. We have Parker and some of the other analysts on it now. Shouldn't be much longer.
All right then. Let me know once you found something.
Will do. And again, good job.
Careful, Mike. Don't play games with these guys.
If I can get in without a firefight, that makes getting to Nasri that much easier.
American. Nasri said nothing about an American.
Canadian, actually, but I won't hold that against you.
What is your business here, Canadian?
Christmas trees. Come on, you know what I'm here for.
I call Nasri. Check on you.
Go ahead.
It's not gonna check out, Mike. You need to take him out before he gets to the radio. Mike, have you spotted Nasri?
He's right here. He's got nowhere to run. This should be quick. Give me a sec.
You, who are you?
A businessman.
You come all this way to do business? You blow up my merchandise, kill my men.
They're not big on conversation. I'm looking for a shipment of Halbeck missiles. Hand them over, and we both walk out of here.
The missiles? You're too late. Already gone. Sold. You caused all this trouble for nothing.
Sold? To who?
I take their cash, not their names. You come a few days ago. Maybe you could have killed them instead of my men, eh?
Mike, this is bad news. If he's telling the truth.
What you do now, huh? Kill me? That not get your missiles back.
Mike, we need to know where those missiles went.
If we let him go, he could lead us to the people he sold the missiles to. Or they might come after him. Either way, we win.
But if he can't lead us to the buyers, then we've let a killer go, and more people will die. Remember that rocket attack in
Money, guns, yours, if you let me go.
I'll take the cash you made on the sales here, and the account number to the Saudi holdings you think no one knows about. It'll save me from having to hack the file.
Saudi holdings? But...
The cash and the account code.
I get you both. Here, I transmit to you. Number check out, see?
Good. Now get out of here before the Marines show.
Are you sure about this, Mike?
Yeah, if we just let him go without a bribe, he would have smelled a trap.
Ah.
I want him scared, not paranoid. And a little extra cash might prove useful later on.
Fair enough. Search the room, see what you can find.
A devastating attack on a U.S. base in Tehran has left several Marines dead. An early morning raid by members of an as-of-yet unidentified group killed 20 soldiers and left over 30 injured. U.S. military sources say that the weapons used in the attack were more advanced than they are used to seeing, and that they suspect the munitions were supplied by a major arms dealer. In Washington today, Senator Patrick Darcy unveiled new legislation aimed at cleaning up the federal government by greatly restricting lobbyists' access to legislators.
The bill, called the People Over Rich Corporations Act, or PORC Act, would prohibit lobbyists from contributing to election campaigns and require anyone affiliated with a corporation to stay 500 feet or more away from any member of the legislative branch.
Opponents of the bill have labeled it a draconian offense against free speech and so laughably unenforceable as to render it a farce. Senator Darcy had no comment for INN News. Should American businesses be compensated if conflict arises in Asia? Legislation being discussed on Capitol Hill would assist with relocation costs for operations based in countries considered hostile to the United States. Detractors in both parties have attacked the bill as a massive bailout for companies that have outsourced American jobs. China and India are the largest destinations for offshore operations, with everything from manufacturing to software development being produced overseas for American businesses. Tensions continue to rise in the Far East as Taiwanese President Ronald Sung's independence rally approaches. The controversial politician has the Chinese government worried that he will formally declare independence, an action that would almost certainly lead to war.
High-level White House sources have told INN News that, should China attempt to forcibly block a Taiwanese move for independence, the U.S. Navy will take, quote, any and all measures to prevent Chinese aggression.
Meanwhile, the president, on a goodwill tour of Africa, issued a statement urging all parties to remain calm and rational, and to let diplomacy prevail. A devastating attack on a U.S. base in Tehran has left several Marines dead. An early morning raid by members...
Problems already?
Just checking in. Had some questions about the mission and Alpha Protocol.
And you called me instead of Westridge? Lucky me.
Sounds like you're gonna be my handler when I infiltrate the Al-Samad camp.
Yeah, I got stuck hand-holding you. Hope that's not a problem.
I just want to make sure we've both got the mission in mind.
Oh, I do. I think about it a lot. Especially the fact that you got the chance to go instead of me. But it won't keep me from helping you in the field if that's what you're worried about.
The Al-Samad detention camp where they got the weapon stockpiles? Anything you can tell me?
Getting satellite imagery of the area has been hard. My contacts haven't turned up much.
What's the problem with the imagery?
Camp's remote and dug into the side of a canyon. Beautiful view, but lousy for spying from above.
Any other intel you can give me?
I'm still checking leads, but not much right now. The airliner going down has really scared my contacts. Been a bitch getting in touch with them. But as for getting into the detention center, the thing about the camp is weather. Sandstorms are hitting the area pretty hard, which is to your advantage.
How?
It cuts down visibility for you and them. You need to sneak in before they know you're there. So just wait for the storm to kick up, then take them out.
All right, good to know.
Oh, one other thing. They've dug in deep, with a maze of tunnels beneath the camp. If they've got any weapons down there, it's gonna be a pain getting to them.
So what do you recommend?
They probably have as much trouble finding their way around as you do. So follow power lines or work lights when you can. Might guide you to where they've got their stockpiles.
Got it. If they use those same routes to move around, shouldn't be too hard to pick them off either.
I'll upload what maps I have to your PDA. They probably keep the weapons in the bottom of the base in case they, well, explode.
Been with Alpha Protocol long?
Longer than you, so yeah, long enough.
There a problem?
I was just curious how you managed to get this mission instead of me. But if you don't want to tell me, that's fine too.
I didn't ask for the assignment. It was given to me, and I didn't have much of a choice.
All right. Strange, though.
Why?
It's a choice assignment, and they picked you over more experienced agents? They must think you're pretty special.
Didn't get that feeling talking to Westridge.
Hey, he talked to you, didn't he? Me? I got the Welcome to Alpha Protocol, stay on the training range and don't get killed pamphlet. Even the hazing was delegated.
That's all I need. See you in the field, Darcy.
Mikey, you there?
Yeah. Sit, Rep?
No radio chatter, no alarms. Looks like you did a good job of getting in under their radar. Wish our choppers could. Would have saved us a lot of trouble.
Bad intel?
No, sandstorms. They fuck with the satellite imagery. But they're great for someone moving in on foot. Lets you get in for the kill before the bad guys know you're there.
So, wait for a storm, use it as cover.
That's the idea. Probably won't be that simple. But hey, that's why they sent you instead of me.
At the camp. They're dug in pretty deep.
Any sign of the radio tower?
Yeah, it's across the canyon from me. A lot of open ground in between.
Try not to get spotted. If you get trapped in there...
Generator's cut.
Got it. I'll signal the choppers now. Can you get to their main computer beneath the camp?
I think a way just opened up.
Good job, Mike. Not bad for the new guy.
All the missions go as smoothly as this?
You're alive, aren't you?
Mikey, so you got back safely?
Yeah, thanks for the lift out of there.
Just doing my job. No need to thank me.
We recover anything from the camp yet?
Some records. Good job digging those out, by the way. Still sorting through it, but...
But what?
Well, I'm out of the loop on the data recovery. Westridge assigned the analysis to Mina and Parker. We'll see what they dig up.
You're not much use then. Hope that data's worth it.
Who knows? Maybe it took too long or tripped an alarm, and they were able to wipe the records before you busted in.
Maybe we can discuss that on the range when I get back.
If you get back. You haven't caught Shahid yet, after all.
About the mission.
Yeah, what? Is there a problem?
No, I thought we got the mission done. It wasn't easy, but we got through it.
Yeah, well, I still don't like the fact that you got the chance to go instead of me. But I can deal with it as long as you catch Shahid.
Let me know as soon as you find out anything, Darcy.
Alright, I'll be in touch, Mikey.
This is it, Mike. We can't let either the missiles or Shahid get past us. Shahid's here to oversee the transport of the missiles. We can kill two birds with one stone. Get to the control tower. Check the transport logs. Once we have those, we can pinpoint the missile's exact location.
So nothing on satellite?
We're going to need you to transmit the exact coordinates. There's a lot of area to cover, and Al-Samad knows how to hide their stockpile.
Missiles aren't anywhere near the runway. Looks like they're being held in a munitions depot in the mountains.
Checking the satellite imagery now. Looks like there's a small trail that leads to the rear of the depot. Marking it on your PDA.
On it. The visual on the missiles. Looks like they're being loaded into a convoy outside the warehouse.
You need to get to it before they roll out. Once they're mobile, our job gets a lot harder.
Yeah, I know. On it. Like most of the trucks have already headed out. Wait a minute.
And you have heard nothing from the control tower? No, Shane. But your plane is prepped and ready for takeoff, as you asked.
Looks like Shahid's got a whole lot of ugly with him.
Something is wrong. Have our men come to meet the trucks at the checkpoint with the assault vehicles. At once, Sheikh.
It's Shahid. Should I take the shot?
No, if we do that, we lose the missiles. But if you can still intercept the convoy, we have it.
Looks like the convoy's already headed out.
The road the convoy is on snakes through the mountains. If you use the foot trails and move fast, you may be able to catch it at the checkpoint.
Great day for a jog. On the top of the bridge. Looks like Shahid's second in command. And he's brought friends.
They're probably there to meet up with the convoy. You need to take them out now. The trucks will be here any minute. Don't know if he knows you're coming. If you can get behind to his position without being spotted.
Might be able to prevent him from warning the convoy.
Mike, first priority is the striker.
So, you thought the death of one terrorist leader would somehow fix the world?
I had a mission, I carried it out.
Yes, and I'd commend you. But you're effectively persona non grata around here.
That makes two of us, then.
There's always one thing I wanted to know. After you killed Shahid, why you did what you did next. Were you trying to find out what happened to your friends? Or were you after me? Trying to bring down Hellback, perhaps? Or maybe you were just cornered, looking for a way out.
After your extortion of Nasri, I was expecting a more mercenary welcome. Have you come to kill me as you killed my followers?
On behalf of the American government, I am here to take you into custody, Shahid.
Behalf of America? America answers only to its wealth.
Coming from one of the richest men in the Middle East and son of a privileged family, that seems ironic.
You are here because America's greed demands it. Your country sleeps at Hellbeck's feet like a dog, hungry for its weapons.
Save the preaching. I'm here for the missiles you stole.
The missiles I stole? They shipped them to me. Then brand me a thief?
I was ordered to recover missiles that were stolen from Halbeck, except now you're telling me they were sold to you.
So? There is no difference.
There's a huge difference, and everyone who died on that airliner would agree, because that means there's two murderers, not one.
Hellbeck will never answer for what they did, and you have destroyed all evidence of their involvement.
You're still breathing.
My testimony will never survive me. In custody, I will be found, hanged, a suicide. Go back to your Hellbeck masters. Tell them of your great success.
I don't work for Halbeck.
Ah, and neither did I. A comforting thought, but it is a lie. You already know something is wrong. The data you found in the detention cells of our camp, that was not stolen missile data. That was given to us. You have two choices. You can believe me or kill me. Hellbeck uses you, but you do not see their influence. You will. Trust me in this.
I believe you, but evidence would help.
The missiles are not enough? Perhaps not. I have other information, and I can obtain more.
You mean if I let you go? No chance.
I give you my word. If you know anything about me, you know I honor a promise when given. When you see Hellbeck for what it is, I will come back and speak to you again. I will not hide, and I will bring proof.
All right. I'm willing to see it. What is this proof?
Call your agency. Tell them I am dead. But remove yourself from the area first, before they call. Give false coordinates. Unless you wish to speak to your god next.
Where are you going?
I will contact you, and I think the information I can provide will be worth the time you have spent looking for...
I'm here. I dealt with Shahid.
And the missiles?
I've disabled the convoy. I haven't confirmed how many missiles we've recovered.
Your first priority is...
Westridge? Westridge, do you read me?
Mike, get out of there.
Mina?
I'm tracking multiple missiles homing in on your coordinates. Get out of
What
here.
the hell?
out of there now.
I'm on it. What's wrong?
You're in danger. You need to get out of Saudi Arabia.
But Halbeck... the missiles...
Mike, Halbeck is the one that sent the missiles to your location. I think they wanted to erase the evidence of the missiles entirely. And you along with it.
Great, so now I'm reduced to being evidence? How did they get these coordinates?
That's the other problem. I think they have someone inside Alpha Protocol. And whoever it is fed them the coordinates for the missile strike.
Is there a way to track down who had access to my coordinates?
Not cleanly, no. But it had to be one of your handlers in Saudi Arabia.
Well, that's a short list. And I'd like it to be shorter. Any other facts you can give me?
If I knew more, I'd share. No one knows I'm talking to you right now.
Is there a way to track down who had access to my coordinates?
Not yet. You were my first priority.
How long will it take you to find out?
I'll keep trying to gather information. But I don't know how long it'll take. And I don't have clearance for all parts of the facility.
Fine. So I need to get back to base. Can you get any choppers out here?
Mike, you can't come back.
What?
You're rogue. I checked the feeds. They've already sent out notifications to the intelligence agencies about your status. If they find you, they'll give you up to the government. If they don't kill you first.
Wait, what about Alpha Protocol? That's what the agency is for. To allow agents to carry out ops like this.
It's to allow the government to deny ops like this. So that if they're exposed, they can say they had no involvement. Mike, you're on your own. Alpha Protocol's the only thing protecting you right now.
I'm still analyzing the information I got from Shahid, but so far it checks out. He's been busy. And so is Halbeck.
So there was a connection between Al-Samad and Halbeck.
Looks that way. But what worries me is why. According to this, Halbeck's got 3 targets. Taipei, Rome, and Moscow. Transmitting the information now. Looks like the missiles were shipped through Moscow. Halbeck's got a distributor there. Or had one. As for Rome, it looks like an Al-Samad cell was activated. But I don't know why. And in Taipei, Ronald's son, the president of Taiwan. Someone's been ordered to assassinate him.
This doesn't make sense. What does Halbeck hope to gain?
A profit. Halbeck wants to raise global tensions, spark a Cold War, and turn the world into their private marketplace.
They'll be able to secure military contracts and a steady consumer base for their weapons for years to come, if they succeed.
I need to get this information where it will do some good.
No one will listen, Mike. Not only are you rogue, but Halbeck's gotten inside Alpha Protocol somehow. If you're caught...
I know. Execution, imprisonment, possibly another lecture by Westridge. I'm on my own.
No, not exactly. They used you. But we can use Alpha Protocol. There's so many levels of secrecy to it. Not even the staff know all the resources the program has.
Like?
Safe houses, weapons. If you're going after these targets, you'll need a base of operations in each city. I can dig up some spots that aren't listed in any records.
Like this one?
Better, I think. It sounds like you're going after these targets then.
Just because they tried to drop a missile on me doesn't mean I'm giving up on my mission. If Halbeck's trying to manipulate world events, it's my responsibility to stop them. Also, I don't like that they used me to do their dirty work, sending me to kill Shahid and get their merchandise back. No way am I letting them get away with that.
Judging from the data, Mike, it may be a good thing. If Halbeck's trying to cause a Cold War...
They've made a mistake. They're going to cause a real one.
The reporter. The photographer?
Scarlett.
You met her leaving Saudi, then in Taipei. But after that, we lost track of her.
Was that a question? If so, it's classified.
I always wondered how you two happened to meet. Coincidence?
I don't know.
You wouldn't believe the day I've had.
Misery loves company. Care to share?
No, not really. Same old Saudi Arabia.
Not quite like the brochure, huh?
I'm Scarlett.
Mike.
So, Mike, what brings you to this exciting corner of the world?
I'm in claims and acquisitions for Halbeck, apparently. Still getting a feel for the job.
Oh.
That was my reaction. Or was that an O, as in I've never heard of Halbeck?
Oh, as in the sense of yes, I've heard of Halbeck, military and construction contractor. That name comes up a lot in this region.
That's right. So if you're familiar with the area, that would make you a... Those your legs?
Other page.
Cover story by Scarlet Lake. Photojournalist.
One of the best.
Dangerous work around these parts, I'd imagine.
If there's no risk, it's not important.
I think you're onto something.
Here, call me. I have a lot of contacts in the area. Maybe we can work out a trade. If you should hear anything, of course.
If I hear anything juicy, you're the first person I'll call.
I appreciate that. You know, there's something about you. Makes me think I might just be sitting next to a headline.
Sorry to disappoint you, but I'm just a normal guy.
Are you sure?
Mostly.
Okay, if you say so.
Bad things happen to all kinds of people. You might get lucky.
I think I'll keep an eye on you regardless.
I'd appreciate that. This is it? It's very... crappy.
Maybe you should unwind after the flight. Maybe take a shower.
Shower? Oh, this is one of those secret agent hidden entrance things, isn't it?
Well, it was until you started talking about it.
Leads to start with. This Stephen Heck guy seems like he knows what's going on in Taipei. He might be able to answer some questions.
Be careful, Mike. I've checked my databanks, and I can't find any evidence that Stephen Heck has ever worked for the CIA.
I'll be on my guard. There's also that anomalous data trail from Shahid's system. Any luck tracing it down?
I managed to follow it back to a place in the warehouse district. I'm forwarding the address to you now. What's the final lead?
Simple. Follow the money. Shahid was funneling large amounts of money to a front corporation for the White Oak Mountain Triad. I think I can persuade them to tell me why.
Sounds like you've got everything figured out.
Isn't that why you love me?
You watch yourself out there, Mr. Thornton.
Always. I'm here to see the Red Lion. I'm a friend of the Sheik. Monsieur, my name is Michael Thornton. I think you have information I need.
I know many things. Most of them would be useful to someone, I'm sure. What is it you want from me, Mr. Thornton? I have no interest in bantering with an American cowboy. It upsets my digestion. Please, get to the point.
Someone is planning to assassinate Ronald's son. You've been receiving transfers of funds from Shahid. I'd be willing to pay to see if these two facts are connected.
Interesting. I admire a man who presents a business proposal clearly and succinctly. Mr. Thornton, a man in my position does not get to be a man in my position without knowing the value of a good trade.
I can understand that. I suppose the question is what you need.
Some of my lieutenants seem to think they would do better without my loving guidance and gentle hand. They have set up shop in a disreputable part of town. Now, if you were to discourage them, I will tell you what I know.
You don't even know me. Why trust me with something like this? Why not use your own people?
My own people are known to these rogues. You, on the other hand, look enough like an ignorant white-old tourist that they might only mug you.
Well, when you put it that way, it's hard to argue. All right, Mr. Hong.
I knew you would see the wisdom of this deal, Mr. Thornton. Contact me again when my wayward children have been dealt with, huh? Oh, and Mr. Thornton.
Yeah?
Don't call me Mr. Hong.
Okay, I'm not far from the market, near the slums.
I'm picking up some activity near your position. I don't think Hong sure gave us the whole story.
The head of an organized crime syndicate not telling the truth? Gee, that's a stretch.
Stretch or not, it looks like you're going to see some heavier resistance up ahead. And among the guards.
They left that part of the cruise.
Ah, Mr. Thornton, you return. The television is already humming with talk of your assault on the slums.
Everything's taken care of. But next time, tell me your lieutenant's defected because you killed one of them as a warning.
I did not feel you needed to know this, Mr. Thornton. Nor do my men. I trust I can rely on your discretion.
Shahid was sending you large sums of money. What was it for?
A man in my position has access to certain materials, Mr. Thornton. Materials that a man in Shahid's position finds very valuable. We had a long-standing business arrangement.
You've already got the international smuggling contacts. You could secure shipments to just about anywhere an Al-Samad cell operates.
Very astute, Mr. Thornton. You would do very well in this business. I did not sell weapons to Shahid directly. I was merely a facilitator.
And how does that put you in a position to know about an attempt on Sung's life?
I'm willing to provide my information, not my sources.
Fair enough. Let's see it.
As promised, Mr. Thornton. Here is all the information I have regarding this unfortunate business with Mr. Sung.
A pleasure doing business with you.
And with you, Mr. Thornton. Oh, there is one other thing. Beware of the man called Oman Dang.
Oman Dang? Who's he?
I'm afraid no one really knows. He is a powerful man in Taipei, and I have heard his name mentioned along with the rumors of this assassination.
I'll keep my ears open. Thanks. Sending you the data I got from Hong Shi now.
Receiving. Got it.
Anything?
According to this, the White Oak Mountain Triad was approached to provide security for a diplomatic exchange at a subway station on the Qingmei line tomorrow night.
Nobody hires Triad gangsters to provide security for a diplomatic exchange. Any hint what was really going on?
Hong Shi's lieutenants dug into the guy's background. Turns out, he was an NSB deep cover operative. After some persuasion, he let slip that he was working undercover to foil a major political assassination.
Persuasion. Do I want to know?
You really don't.
That gives us a time and a place. Think it's enough to go on?
Qingmei Station is pretty big. You could wander around for an hour and not find the exchange. You'll need to identify the package being handed off. If you can find a way to track it, even better.
I'll see what I can dig up. I'll be in touch.
Okay. Good luck, Mike.
Who the heck are these guys? All right, I'm in. Mina. Mina, do you copy? Great. Signal's jammed. Looks like I'm on my own. What the hell is up with my PDA?
Agent Thornton, my name is Albatross. You attacked a G-22 cell in Taipei and placed monitoring software on our servers. I want you to delete it.
I was looking for information related to my mission. I didn't know anyone was here. I didn't expect to find anyone at this warehouse.
That means we've done our job, Agent Thornton. The question is, what were you doing here in the first place?
What's it to you, Albatross? I was checking a lead. Next thing I know, your goggle-eyed agents are crawling out of the woodwork.
You've placed monitoring software on our servers. You managed to infiltrate our system completely. You're very thorough.
Look, your little organization, G-22, they sure didn't make me feel welcome when I arrived. Now, after all that trouble you put me through, you expect me to do you a favor? I don't even know what you and your pals were doing here.
Eavesdropping on our servers won't help you. I'm guessing you're looking for an Al-Samad and Halbech connection.
You're surprisingly well informed for some organization I've never heard of before.
Alpha Protocol aren't the only ones who keep a low profile, Agent.
So I see. Care to tell me how you knew about Sung?
We've been monitoring both Al-Samad and Halbech, but are affiliated with neither. I'm afraid you'll have to take me at my word, Agent Thornton.
I believe you. I don't know why, but I'm guessing if you're willing to ask first. That says a lot right there.
I appreciate your trust, Agent Thornton. Mike. And that data, well, let's just say it would be of little use to you. Shut down your program, and I will compensate you. I know why you're here. I can help you. Refuse, and you'll find you have few friends here in Taipei.
I don't really need friends. And I'd like to check out your databanks. I mean, I'd be stupid to give up this access, especially to someone whose organization has orders to shoot on sight.
If that is your decision, Agent Thornton, so be it. I could have helped you with Song, but now, the next move is yours.
That doesn't sound good. Hope it was worth it. I thought this line was supposed to be secure.
It should be. What happened?
Someone calling himself Albatross hacked into the comm network and accused me of swiping his data. Said he represents something called G22.
That's scary.
Yeah, it was a shock for me too.
I'm guessing he didn't call to chat. What did he want?
He asked me to shut down the bugs. Well, ask is maybe too generous. I told him to forget it. We need this intel more than we need friends like him.
I hope you're right.
So, what do we got?
Not a lot. The network's already been wiped. It's like it never even existed.
Somehow I didn't think Albatross would just leave a compromised net up and running. What did we get?
It looks like the network was part of the shadow net G22 uses to monitor global intelligence services. I ran a search for the keywords Ronald Sung and assassination, and got a hit.
Anything we can run with?
I've got an email intercept indicating that the assassin will be receiving the details of the assignment tomorrow night at the subway station on the Xingmei line.
That's not a lot of new information.
It's something. Maybe if we can find a way to tap into the NSB's computers, we can narrow the search a little more.
You could be right. I'll keep exploring my lead, see if something shakes loose. Anything else I might find useful?
Not much. They wiped the network before I could pull down any more than a few subdirectories. I'll sort through it and send you an email once I've compiled it.
Sounds good. I'll be in touch when I'm ready to move forward.
Take care, Mike.
Hello?
In the back. With you in a sec, buddy. Not too uncomfortable, I hope. Now this is dry cleaning solution. Active ingredient is perchloroethylene. Gets stains out like a champ. Like a champ went, believe you me.
Steve Heck, I'm here on business. Agency.
Sure. Be right with you. Oh, and you call me Steve again. Cut your thumbs off with cigar clippers. Okay? So you remember where they are now, do you? Candy dish. Ah, that does it, Wen. You know I don't like sweet... Oh, the candy dish! That's right! That's where I left my keys. Should have said something earlier, Wen. You see what I almost made you drink? Good old Wen. Always getting into antics. Anywho, what can I do you for?
I got a line on somebody aiming to assassinate President Sung. I was hoping you might be able to help me with that.
You've been in town for a while, haven't you? From what I've heard, you've been busy. Why didn't you come say hello when you arrived? Couldn't find the place? If I hadn't been with Wen here, I would have made the time to seek you out.
I wasn't sure if you had what I needed to know.
I know a lot about a lot of things. Like, for instance, did you know that in the 1960s, the CIA surgically jammed a mic and antenna into a cat for an op codenamed Acoustic Kitty?
No, I've never heard that. Have you heard of anything relevant to my previous question?
Oh, it's relevant. Just between you and me. And Wen. You're with the agency, am I right?
Yeah, kind of. It's complicated.
Say no more, Agent.
Mike will do. Steve.
Steven. I'm an agent myself, you know.
You don't say.
Yeah, I work for a division of the CIA that doesn't officially exist. Super secret. They just kind of turned me loose and let me go nuts.
Uh-huh. So, can you help me or not?
Depends. How do I know you are who you say you are? I have to ask because, funny story, one time a salesman came in and I thought he was buying secrets about the German Chancellor's security detail.
Does the name Alpha Protocol mean anything to you?
Secret program to allow the government plausible deniability? No, not really. After all, the US doesn't do black ops anymore. They changed the color to something else. Orange, I think. Yeah, that's the new black.
So you never heard about that orange op I did in the Middle East? The one where Shahid disappeared in a flash of light? That was me.
Really? Well, I definitely heard of that thing you just said. All right, color me convinced. So, Ronald Sung, huh? Hey, did you ever notice his name's an anagram for lard on guns? Ironic, isn't it?
Yeah. Guess it is.
Ronnie Sung. What do you want to know, Mike? Personal demons, pant size, political capital, sexual proclivities?
I've got some intelligence that suggests someone in Taipei wants Sung dead. You've got an ear to the ground here, thought you might know more.
Political assassinations. Yeah, those are fun. One time I took out an entire soccer stadium just to kill the premier of Namibia. Hey, did you know at 400 miles an hour, soccer balls can decapitate people?
I didn't. But Sung?
Sure. I can tell you this, Mike. There's a big conference coming up at the Grand Hotel. Sung's gonna be there, along with a few dozen EU bigwigs and the like.
So you're suggesting I infiltrate the hotel. Why?
Taiwanese National Security Bureau is providing the security. You think those cats don't just have oodles of stuff on everybody who might want their boss dead?
Wouldn't be too hard to slip in and borrow some of that information.
Knew that would appeal to you, Mike. Hey, give me a call when you head that way. I'd like to be in on this.
Is this Scarlet? This is...
Mike, from the plane, right?
You remembered.
You didn't give me a reason to forget.
Heard you were in Taipei, thought I'd call.
So, it takes me coming to Taipei for you to get back to me?
About your offer of exchanging information.
I remember. Do you have something?
I'm here in town trying to find out all I can about President Sung and the upcoming rally.
Sung? Why? Is there something wrong?
His life is in danger.
Why do you think that?
I have an inside source. He's a target, and I need to warn him. I don't have a lot of friends here in Taipei, and certainly not ones with press credentials who can move freely. Can you help me?
What did you have in mind?
A little covert operation, if you're up for it.
I might be. I'd need the details first.
I'll fire them over, along with a location to meet up.
All right, then. Talk to you soon.
Everybody online?
In position in the lobby.
In position to rain death on my enemies.
We need the NSB's threat analysis. What we don't need is to be added to their list. I want minimal confrontation and no civilian casualties.
What are you expecting me to do, Mike? Bludgeon a wandering guard to death with a camera?
Actually, that last part was mostly for Steven.
Anybody ever tell you you're a real wet blanket, Mike?
Steven, you're with me. There'll be a map of the conference in the security office. You're gonna be my distraction.
Can do, Mike. Would you prefer a hot distraction or a loud distraction?
What's the difference?
Hot distractions have more fire.
No casualties, Steven. Especially not civilians. Are we clear?
Yeah, sure. No bodies.
Scarlet, I need you to stay in the lobby for now. Hang out in the bar, see if you can find me a lonely convention attendee.
And do what with him exactly?
Talk him up. Find out something useful. Use some of those ace reporter skills I hear so much about.
Sure, Mike.
Should be a piece of cake for you.
I'll call you as soon as I have anything. What about me?
You stay in touch with everybody. Keep us all up to date on what's going on. Can you get into the security system?
Already done.
Okay, everybody knows the score? Then let's move out. Remember, people, this is our one chance to get this intel. Let's do it right. Good luck, Thornton out.
Mike, it's Scarlet. I've got something for you.
Great, let's have it.
A certain Halbeck security officer has a distinct weakness for Mai Tais and redheads. In that order.
Get anything useful out of him?
Not much. Just his room key.
He didn't happen to have an access pass for the elevators to the convention floor, did he?
You know, funny enough, I think he did.
That's perfect. You did great, Scarlet.
One more little surprise for you. I managed to snap a picture of him. Seems like if security were told it was the face of a known sex offender.
That would make a nice distraction for hotel security. Good call.
Meet me in the restroom by the VIP suite. I'll give you what I have.
On my way.
Here you go, Mike.
You're the best. I ever tell you that?
Not often enough, I think.
Thanks, Scarlet.
I'll be seeing you, Mike.
Okay, I'm at the elevator. You sure this will get me out?
Positive. The elevator leads to those access tunnels. You can slip out before the authorities know you're gone.
Got it.
Mike, it's Steven. Steven Heck.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see you.
I can see you too, Mike.
Okay. What's on your mind, Heck?
Steven. Anywho, just wanted to drop you a line and see if all that carnage was worth your while. You get what you needed?
Thanks to the NSB, I've got the transponder codes for the bug they planted with the assassin's orders. And thanks to my other leads, I know when and where that package will be.
Hey, look at you with your clues and your spy satellites and your secret genital nuking microwave guns. You're like a real spy.
I don't actually have one of those.
Really? Oh, they're great. Melt the balls right off you. Why, that's great that you got it all sorted out. You need any more mayhem while you're in town, you know who to call.
Thanks. I'll be in touch.
Mike Bobola, what's the shakes? Any more antics on the horizon? Bad guys need thwomping, liberty need protecting, adorable aliens need rescuing from sinister government labs.
Steven, you should know I'll be conducting an operation tonight at the Xingmei subway station. I'll try to keep it discreet, but there's a chance it could get violent.
Hey, that's great, Mike. Only don't spoil your fun on my account. You feel the need to get elbow deep in some poor sap's chitlins, you go right ahead.
I'll keep that in mind, thanks.
Hey, you want to borrow my lucky cigar clippers? They're lucky.
Thanks, but I think I'll be okay on my own.
Suit yourself.
Right. Well, anyways, I thought you should know, since Taipei is sort of your turf and all.
Hey, glad to see you've learned your lesson, Mike. I appreciate the heads up. For a while there, I was afraid I'd have to disappear you.
Disappear me?
Are you really gonna force me to make a Hoffa joke? Because I could make some Hoffa jokes. Oh, yeah.
You know, there could be a lot of bad guys down there. If you wanted to help me take them out, well, I wouldn't say no.
Really? You mean it? Oh, Mike, you don't know how much that means to me.
So you'll do it?
Will I do it? Damn right I will. You just go do your thing. I think you're gonna like the surprise I got cooked up.
Why do I get the feeling you've planned this?
Because I have, Mike.
Right. Okay then, see you down there.
You betcha!
I'm not seeing anything. Are you sure we've got the right place?
Everything we have points to here and now, Mike. Hold on. I've got a signal. It's on the move, about 500 meters west of your current position.
What the hell's it doing over there?
They must have moved the driver.
Mina?
Portable radio channel. Very useful. Points for considering camouflage, Agent Thornton. But try something that blends in with the civilians more than the surroundings.
How do you know who I am?
You're new to the game, but I have my sources. You aren't that good at hiding.
Omen Dang, I think you and I have business to settle.
Agreed. But it would be on my agenda. I have things to take care of. Tasks I cannot allow you to interrupt. There is a maintenance door over there. Go inside.
Whatever you say. You're the guy in charge here, Dang.
I'm glad you see reason in this.
So, what now?
I'm not going to kill you. Eventually your body will be found and will spark a police investigation. That is attention I would prefer not to draw. You'll be staying put right here.
Mike, come in. Can you hear me?
Sorry about that. Got interrupted.
What happened?
I just met the legendary Omen Dang, who locked me in a maintenance tunnel.
I'm not going to ask. I see you. The package is still in play. It's on the move, at the next platform over.
I'm on it.
Hurry, Mike. There's no telling how much time we have.
Where is he? Dang said the dog was here.
I've got company. So much for Dang's word.
I don't know. Stay here. I'll take a look down the hall.
Hey! What? He's here! You said this location was safe. Kill him! End of the line. I may die, but so will you. Think you can dodge a train?
Damn, no time to turn back. Damn, that was close. A lot of work for a little flash drive.
Mike, are you alright?
Yeah, but that was a closer call than I'd like. This data better be worth it.
We'll figure that out later. Ding's men are still down there. Get out now.
No arguments here. I think I'll stick with surface streets for a while. Okay, I've got the disk. Let's see what Omen Dang knows.
I'm patching into your system now. Oh, this is good. He's using elliptical curve encryption to mask the data structure.
I haven't seen a computer you can't crack yet. You'll get through this in no time.
Sweet of you to say.
Any luck yet?
Just bits and pieces. Something about the assassination attempt and riots at Sung's rally. Maybe to cover an escape or a secondary plan if the assassination fails.
If Sung dies, the whole region's thrown into chaos. If Deng sets off those riots, it could end with a lot of people dead. Let me know when you have more.
Will do. Uh-oh. This is not good.
What's wrong?
There was a hidden security protocol on the disk. When I tried to access it, the disk started reformatting itself.
Don't panic, Mina. Just work around it. You can do this.
Mike, this format is running too fast. I can maybe decrypt one of these files before it wipes the disk.
Damn, which one?
It's your call, Mike. But you better make it fast.
A riot at Sung's rally could cause just as much chaos as an assassination.
Got it. That's it. Whatever else was on that disk is gone.
No chance of recovering the rest, huh?
I wouldn't count on it. But at least we've got something.
Yeah, I just hope we made the right call.
And so we come to the events in Taipei, Agent Thornton.
Yeah, Taipei.
I understand you spoke with Stephen Heck at some point. Heck doesn't like to feel that other agents are encroaching on his turf, does he? He's very territorial.
You know Heck? Who?
That's not really your concern. It was Heck who provided you with information about the conference at the Grand Hotel, wasn't it?
Do you even need to ask?
Not especially. You took a very direct approach to this operation, didn't you? There were several civilian casualties.
I didn't go in there aiming to kill civilians, but my window of opportunity was limited. I didn't have a choice.
Of course not. You needed the intelligence from the NSB. What else could you do? Heck wasn't the only dangerous contact you made in Taipei, was he?
You're talking about Hong Shi.
Making deals with triad bosses isn't the best way to guarantee a long and healthy life.
Operational intel isn't exactly overflowing. I needed information, and I needed it fast.
Nevertheless, your one-man crusade in the slums kicked the Taiwanese security forces into high gear. You may have done more harm to Hong Shi's organization than you realize. And then you met the mysterious Omen Deng.
Deng got the drop on me. He was good, I'll give him that.
But at the time, you still didn't know what his role in all this was, did you?
You mean?
We'll get to that later. Faced with the choice of which information to save, you chose...
I made the best choice I could, given the options.
Why?
There were too many innocent people at that rally. Sung was a politician with a dangerous platform. He knew the risks he took. Those people didn't.
Very sentimental.
I made the best choice I could, given the options.
But it didn't turn out that way. Did it?
You must be Agent Thornton. I understand you have some important information for me?
Yes, sir. I've learned about a plot to kill you during the rally this week, and to use your death to spark a massive riot and destabilize Taiwan.
This is a troubling development, Agent Thornton. If it is true.
You think I'm making it up?
Let us just say I would like to hear the whole story before I make any decisions. A man with my political views lives with threats every day. If you can present me with compelling evidence of this plot, I will take action.
The evidence I acquired was partially destroyed.
Without proof, I'm afraid there's little I can do, Agent Thornton. What evidence do you have?
I can prove that a cell of Chinese operatives plans to cause a pro-nationalist riot at your rally.
Then the attempt on my life is merely your conjecture.
No, sir, Mr. President. Both threats are genuine. Please, for your safety, cancel your appearance at the rally.
Canceling the rally at this juncture would do considerable harm to my cause. I am afraid it is out of the question.
Then at least take extra precautions. Wear body armor during your speech. Post extra security, something.
Give me your evidence, Agent Thornton. If my security chief concurs that the threat is credible, I will have extra personnel standing by to quell any agitators.
But the assassination...
If I go out onto that stage wearing a bulletproof vest, I announce my weakness to the world. I am sorry. But without hard evidence, I will not send that message to my people.
This is all I have. Please use it, Mr. President. Taiwan can't afford to lose you right now.
You're far more generous than some of my constituents, Agent Thornton. I will put this to good use. I promise you that.
How'd it go?
Could have been better.
He didn't listen?
Oh, he believed me about the riots once I handed him the evidence, but without proof that someone was planning to kill him, he refused to wear a vest during his speech.
What are you going to do?
The only thing I can do, figure out how to stop both plans myself.
That doesn't sound so hard. Keep me posted.
Mike, how did it go with Sung?
Not as well as I'd hoped.
Did he believe you?
He's gonna add additional security, but as for the assassination attempt, without proof, he's not gonna take any other precautions.
So, he didn't believe you?
No.
You tried, Mike. And helping you out? Well, you certainly keep things interesting.
I've got to figure out the next step. Until then, you may want to get ready in case this story explodes.
I hope not. Now I'm tempted to cover the rally.
Are you planning to stay in Taipei then?
Now I am. That is, if you think I can help, Mike. I don't know what I can do, but...
I appreciate it, Scarlett, but I'd rather you were out of harm's way.
What? And risk being bored to death? Not a chance. I'll try to gather what I can from my contacts, Mike. Until then...
If I need any more help, I'll let you know. Thanks for everything, Scarlett.
Good luck, Mike. And good luck with Sung.
Looks like Dang's men already made it here. How's that satellite uplink, Mina?
Working. And you're right, satellite imaging shows Chinese secret police all throughout the parks. We're a little late.
Steven, what's it looking like near the stage?
It's a madhouse over here, but not in that fun, violent way.
This should be interesting. I hope our friends actually show up on time. Could use the help.
You better hurry, Mike. Sung's giving his speech in less than an hour.
Speech? Weren't we here just for the fireworks?
Yes, Mike. That and a little thing called regional stability.
I've got a visual on Dang. Hey, we're not done yet. I didn't think you were one to hide, Dang. You're missing your big opportunity. Show yourself.
No. Finish it.
This doesn't make sense. I've read the files on you and Sung. Why would you try to kill him?
I might not have been able to stop you, but my people will make you pay for killing Sung.
You're a double agent? For how long?
All my life.
I won't pry then.
That is, considerate for a hired killer.
What are you talking about? I'm not here to kill anybody.
My sources were clear. Michael Thornton has come to Taipei to assassinate President Sung.
Funny, my sources made it pretty clear you were here to kill him.
Then your sources are mistaken.
If you're not the assassin... Oh, shit.
No!
Damn it! I don't see anybody. I tried to warn him, but without hard evidence, he wouldn't listen.
Mike, you need to get out of there. Security forces are en route. It'll take them a while to calm the crowd down, but then they'll be looking for the shooter.
Copy that. Omen, we've got trouble coming in fast. I'm guessing you want to get to the bottom of this as much as I do.
Yes.
Then let's move out. We're clear. Mina, I'm patching Dang into our connection. Can you give us an update?
I'm sorry, Mike. Sung is dead. Emergency frequencies are saying the crowds have dispersed without violence, though.
I'm glad the information I passed to him did some good, at least.
Taipei, when President Ronald Sung was gunned down by an unknown assassin at a political rally earlier today. The president was rushed to Taipei City Hospital, where doctors declared him dead on arrival. No word yet how this might impact the upcoming elections or relations between the People's Republic and Taiwan. After initial panic among the audience, police report that order has been restored with no loss of life. Several men who attempted to incite a riot were arrested without incident.
Heck, calling Thornton. Come in, Thornton.
Yeah, Heck, I'm here.
Just a heads up, Mike. There's some folks out there that really hate you, pal.
I know. I'm not the most popular guy these days.
So this VCI comes to me and he says to me, Steve, I got a proposition for you.
What was their offer?
So after I pop 3 of his fingers off for calling me Steve, I say, and what proposition might that be, my good man?
Heck.
This guy says to me, Oh, God, please don't kill me. I just came here to offer you $5 million to give Michael Thornton up as Ronald Sung's assassin.
Tell me you didn't.
Not gonna lie, buddy. I was really tempted for a minute there. But I kinda like you, so I told him to piss off. Then I set him on fire to make sure he got the point.
That strikes me as a little extreme.
I figured his cronies would probably try and find somebody less scrupulous than myself, so I went ahead and called the news stations. Should keep them off your back for a while.
I appreciate that.
Hey, no problem, buddy. I'm gonna lay low for a while, but I'll be in touch. Be seeing you, Mike.
Searching for a man called Wen Shu in connection with the attack. Government sources have told INN that Wen Shu is a Taiwanese national with no previous criminal record. The nature of his involvement remains to be seen.
That should buy me a little time to get out of Taipei. Better get moving.
And so this is the result of your efforts in Taipei. Chaos in the streets, an assassination attempt against the president of Taiwan. Well done.
Sung's death was unavoidable, and I don't think it would have made a difference if he had survived.
Now you're beginning to understand. I admit, the lack of an identified assassin might slow things down, but the people already believe the assassin was a Chinese agent. Omen Deng's escape won't stop the push for independence from growing stronger. You managed to escape Taipei undetected, largely because of an anonymous tip identifying a man called Wen Shu as the attempted assassin. Stephen Heck's work, I trust?
Professional favor. Now I owe him one. It's pretty much how the spy business works.
That's not like you. I've read the records. Seems like you've alienated almost everyone you've worked with since you've activated Alpha Protocol.
I'd prefer to work alone. That's all you cared about then? Destabilizing Taipei?
You should pay more attention to global politics, Agent Thornton. If Taipei pushes for independence, the People's Republic will prepare for war. If China prepares for war, so does the U.S.
And Halbeck makes a fortune off the new Cold War.
If there's one thing better for business than a war, it's a Cold War.
Welcome to Moscow, Mike. How do you like your new apartment?
Limited access, secure building, high-speed internet. This'll work just fine.
Anything else?
Like
the view?
Oh yeah, could be a sniper risk. I might have to put up heavy curtains.
Always the professional, Mike. All right, down to business then. Do you have a plan of attack for Moscow?
I've got a few leads from Saudi to follow up on. We'll see where those take me.
Sounds like a solid plan. What will you follow up on first?
Not sure yet. The missile launchers were moved through Leningradsky Station. There might be intel there. I've also got a CIA informant codenamed Grigori and a mob underboss called Lazo.
Finding those missiles is important, although more information would be helpful. But from his file, Grigori looks like the type who would sell information about you to interested parties. Lazo might be able to provide some leads too.
Getting the lay of the land would be helpful. I'd rather not walk into an ambush if I can help it.
Smart plan. Call me when you have anything.
Lazo has been terminated. Move out.
What the hell's going on here? What, nothing to say? I want to know what you're doing here. Who sent you? Make another move and I'll have to fire.
Mike, are you still there?
I'm here.
Someone was jamming the frequency. Are you all right?
Yeah, I think so. What's up with the connection? Looks like something's interfering with the transmission. Or... Albatross. It's been a while since Taipei. I ran into a little friend of yours tonight, hanging out with your G22 buddies. She's quite the little firecracker, although she doesn't talk much. Well, except with those pistols of hers.
That would be my bodyguard, sis. And I know you spared her life. That's why I'm calling.
I didn't want to fight her. I was only there for Lazo. But she didn't give me much choice.
It was under my orders, Mike. But I didn't realize you would be there. Else, I would have instructed sis to behave differently.
So should I ask what G22 is doing in Moscow? You guys sure seem to get around.
It's a rather long answer, Mike. One I'd like to discuss more, if you'd be up for it.
Is your bodyguard invited? If so, I'll need body armor.
I'm afraid it's required she be present. We're not supposed to be apart. It's how G22 operates in the field. But like you, I tend to bend the rules for the sake of the greater good. I'll leave the choice up to you, but I can't wait long. If you want to discuss your future, then meet me at the following coordinates. It isn't far. And come alone.
Alright. But I better not be walking into an ambush. And tell Sis to keep her distance.
I will do so. I will not wait long, Mike. So if you want to speak to me, you'll have to do it soon.
Pleasure cruisers on the Moscow River received a shock this morning when they discovered an empty yacht floating unattended on the river. Muscovite police were summoned to the scene after bloodstains and signs of a violent struggle were detected on the boat's deck.
Talk about your ghost ship.
Ghost ship indeed. Police are dragging the river where the yacht was found, but no bodies have been located yet.
Oof, spooky.
Tragic news for dog lovers.
I don't want to shoot you, but pull that trigger, and I will.
It's all right, sis. Hello, Mike. No trouble finding the place, I hope.
You wanted to meet face to face. Why?
I wanted to talk about you and the organization I represent. You spared Sis's life. For that, you have my thanks.
Sorry it came to that. I didn't want to fight her, but the situation didn't leave much time for talking. Although she's not much of a talker, I take it.
She's a mute. Let's walk. Sis will make sure we're not interrupted.
All right. So, what did you want to talk about?
I know to all outward appearances you're a rogue agent. I also know about Alpha Protocol, and in your case, it's being used for its intended purpose.
Wasn't my choice, really. One of my associates made the decision for me.
I disagree. You had other options, I'm sure. Did enacting Alpha Protocol change your mission?
No.
Then you should be proud of your accomplishment.
What accomplishment?
It's not often that one gets to turn the tools of their own government against them, and for the right reasons. And Alpha Protocol? It is a powerful tool.
Between Halbeck and you, I'm beginning to feel like everyone knows about Alpha Protocol.
It may seem that way. I'd argue you're simply traveling in a smaller circle here, on the fringe of international politics.
I don't know what you want, Albatross. G22's agenda? Doesn't seem like you have one.
No. We have aspirations, as does any government. But we believe that agendas are accomplished by careful study and observation. If the status quo is disrupted, it makes predicting triggers and events more difficult. It's an odd thing. A government-sponsored program whose purpose is to prevent being policed by its own government. Now, what kind of foundation is that for a country?
I guess you have to trust your country and act in its best interests.
Do you trust your country?
I do. I believe in the mission.
I propose we become allies.
What, I become a member of G22?
No. I propose we cooperate. You will find that as extensive as Alpha Protocol's leftover safe houses and gadgets are, well, G22 has access to much more.
And the price?
Let us say I owe you. You've already paid me, in the only currency I value. What do you say?
All right. I need all the friends I can get. And for some reason, I trust you.
You won't regret it, Mike. We're out of time, I'm afraid. Thank you for listening to me, Mike. I know you have a great deal of work ahead of you.
Albatross, I need to know something.
Yes. What?
This business with Halbeck. I can still prevent it, right? There's a way to stop them. This isn't going to end well, is it?
Mike, it never does.
Michael Tортон. Welcome to Moscow. You are fresh from Taipei, yes? Terrible thing, the Sony assassination. Death ends the best friendships. I feel honored. Your first time in Moscow, and I am your first stop. What brings Michael Tортон, world traveler, to this humble bar?
I wanted to ask you some questions about Halbeck and the weapons they've been smuggling through Moscow.
You are here conducting an investigation. Very interesting.
In a sense, yes. Halbeck's involved in serious arms trafficking violations, and I want to stop them.
Interfering in such things is dangerous in Moscow. But you must know this.
I'll take my chances.
Of course, you're on a mission, and this is a matter of national, international security. I can help you, but such information will not come cheaply.
Very well. I'll have the money sent to you. Now, can you help me or not?
It would be my pleasure. Now, what is it you want to know?
Stopping the missile shipment is my top priority. What was their destination?
That is a difficult question, but I know someone who would know the answer. There is a man, Sergei Surkov. He runs several businesses in Moscow. He may know who Halbeck is dealing with.
Sergei Surkov. Running a check on the name now. We're getting a lot of hits. He shouldn't be hard to find. Although, judging from his contact list, figuring out where his next appointment is could take some time.
All right, I think I can wait a little longer. And there's a few other leads I'd like to track down.
You were planning to investigate Leningradsky station, yes? Maybe you can do me a favor.
A favor?
Your American missiles are not the only cargo that comes through the station. If you go, maybe you could divert these shipments accidentally, of course.
What, you mean change the shipping labels? And me without my label maker?
It is more simple than that. The box destination is stenciled on the side, but it is a code. Change it with a marker, and the boxes will end up somewhere else. To a friend of ours who will be happy to reimburse us, maybe do a little business with you.
I'll think about it.
What more can an old man ask for?
Crime violence on the Taipei subway system tonight. Police say that a drug courier was attacked by members of a rival gang in an effort to destabilize the Triad Underground in Taipei. No civilians were hurt in the battle, but several men identified as Chinese nationals were among the slain. We've always known that kids enjoy candy, but what are some of the downsides to the sling?
Ready! Ready! Damn it! Open fire!
Must be a small army out there.
Come out, or I'll shoot through those boxes you're crouching behind.
Wouldn't want that.
You must be that American agent I've heard so much about.
A little bird told you that?
Grigori is no bird, darling. You should be careful who you speak to. Here to catch a train?
I'm here looking for the Halbeck missiles that were smuggled through Moscow.
Oh, very truthful of you. Bad practice in our business. But we should talk. I do not want to shoot you, as I only have so many bullets.
Could have fooled me.
Them? They didn't take many bullets. You, I'm not so sure it would be as easy. I propose a deal. I am here for the same reason you are, to find this Halbeck train. We work together, we both get what we want.
If your objective is to reach the train, then we can help each other out. After that, I can't make any promises.
Nor can I. Until the train is reached, then, yeah?
Well, considering you have the drop on me, then it sounds like a deal. For now.
That is good. Because I think we have company.
I feel like I've just walked into a toy store. Looks like the shipment's ready to go to its client.
We're not going to have time to warn the local authorities. And they won't have time to confiscate the weapons before they're moved out. It'd be safer to destroy them. According to the station layouts, there should be a storage room across the tracks.
Big manifests, but no mention of the missiles. Weapons, a lot of them, are coming through this train yard, but not the ones we're looking for.
All right, get out of there then. It still could help us.
Be right there. Just need to change the destination address. Actually, I've got a better idea. I'll ship them to myself.
Michael, I did not realize you knew how to kill so well, so thoroughly. Seeing you in action makes me want to debrief you.
It's a little cold for that, but, thanks, I think.
And so polite. Maybe I should keep a more careful eye on you.
You can try, but you won't see me until it's too late. Now, who hired you to come here to the train yard?
Michael, you need to be more subtle, I think, when you are asking girls their intentions.
I don't think there's anything subtle about you.
Amen to that.
I think there is much you and I can do in Moscow together.
I'm here about these missile shipments, nothing more.
Do not be frightened. You are too proper for my tastes, Michael. I only ask you to think about my offer. I will be in touch, Michael. I think we will have much to discuss, you and I.
All right, then. Can't say I'm looking forward to it, but...
I would wait until you hear my offer first, but it will not be long, I promise.
Turn up anything, Mina?
The name Grigory provided. Sergei Surkov. He's well connected in Moscow, and he may know what Halbeck's plans are.
Any idea where I can find him?
I've confirmed he's at the American Embassy now. He should be there for the next few hours, if his schedule holds.
Good to hear. Is something wrong?
Something's interfering with the signal. I'm going to switch to another frequency.
What the hell?
Mike, I understand you're going after Surkov.
I suppose it's too much to ask to give me some warning before you interrupt my calls.
We don't have a lot of time. I know about your mission, and I can assist you in getting to Surkov. When you arrive at the embassy, I can patch into your frequency and provide support, as your handler. I think you'll find G-22's resources are considerable.
All right. I could use all the help I can get.
Excellent. I have your frequency. I'll contact you when you reach the embassy, and we can go from there.
I'll get my gear and head out.
All right. One last thing, Mike. I'd prefer infiltrating the embassy quietly. If things should get difficult, however...
I'll be ready. Expecting trouble?
Always.
Great.
What happened? I got cut off.
Mina, I think Albatross is going to be joining us at the embassy.
What?
No time to explain. But I think we need to reach Surkov now. So this is the embassy, huh? I was hoping for something a little cheerier.
There's still no contact from G-22. Do you want to
Mike,
call
this
them?
is Albatross. Our surveillance indicates you're at the embassy perimeter. Can you confirm?
I'm guessing that feedback means you've cut me off from my handler.
I've locked down your signal to keep radio traffic to a minimum. It's a low probability embassy security will pick up our conversation, but I'm worried about other interests.
Understood. Has your surveillance picked up anything else?
We're checking the embassy grounds now. No sign of hostiles. Yet.
Alright, let's see what we got at the front door.
Embassy guards in the front. But they don't seem to be on alert. You did speak to Grigori, didn't you, Thornton? I would have thought local informants would have already revealed our presence in Moscow.
I spoke to him, but he didn't mention any ties to the embassy. In fact, he's the one who gave me Surkov's name.
Grigori makes his living selling intelligence. If he didn't sell your whereabouts to Surkov, then we have a problem. How you want to handle the approach is up to you, Thornton. If you get into trouble, I cannot get agents there in time to help you. But remember, Surkov is our priority. There may be another way into the building. Satellites are picking up possible roof access.
Understood. Mike.
Agent Thornton, I had heard you were in Moscow, although I didn't expect our meeting to be quite so dramatic.
Sergei Surkov, I'm here to get you to safety. I don't want to hurt you, I just need information.
I see Grigori described you correctly, Agent Thornton. I'm at your disposal. How do you want to proceed?
Well done. Let's see what he has to share.
Tell me what you can about the embassy.
The embassy security systems are our problem. The explosion has triggered the automatic security gates. They must be disabled if we want to escape the building.
So I need to find the security terminal and then override the codes.
Yes, the terminal is upstairs. But in the monitoring room next to us, there is a maintenance ladder. Take the ladder to the main security room upstairs. Unlock the gates. Then I can meet up with you at the courtyard. We don't have much time. Your reputation precedes you, Mr. Tolton. When Grigori indicated you were in Moscow, he underestimated your abilities. I did not.
Glad I didn't disappoint. I was hoping you could help me.
If I can, I will. You're here concerning Halbech, correct? May I ask why?
It's my responsibility to find out what they're doing here in Moscow.
Your responsibility? Forgive me, Mr. Thornton, but my understanding was that you are a rogue agent.
That doesn't make me any less responsible to my country or to the world, Mr. Surkov. Can you help me?
I will, gladly. Halbech is smuggling weapons through Moscow. Was your country not already aware of this?
I'm not sure how much my government really knows. There seems to be protocols in place to blind them to their own actions.
I do not know who Halbech's contact is in Moscow, but it will not take me long to find out.
I appreciate the cooperation.
As I appreciate you saving my life, Mr. Thornton. I think our responsibility to our countries is something we see eye to eye on.
Glad to hear it, Surkov. I look forward to hearing from you.
Breaking news from Moscow this morning. Last night, the United States Embassy was the victim of a terrorist attack. According to eyewitnesses speaking exclusively to INN, the attackers were well armed and struck with military precision. Thus far, no group has stepped forward to take credit for the attack.
Russian FSB spokesmen have not released many details of the incident, but have assured the press that they are cooperating closely with American agents on the scene. The death toll is believed to be somewhere near 50, although a final tally will not be possible until a full report is released later this month.
Reports that Sergei Surkov, a Muscovite entrepreneur and reputed former leader of the Russian mob, was the actual target of the assault, remain unconfirmed at this time. However, sources have claimed Surkov was present at the embassy on the night of the attack. Mr. Surkov could not be reached for comment.
Tragic news for dog lovers. The latest target of scammers are online puppy buyers, those seeking the comfort of canine.
Mr. Thornton, I'm glad you were able to make it. I have the information you requested.
Glad to hear it, Mr. Surkov.
Sergei, please. With that outfit you're wearing, I almost didn't see you come in. Are you planning to sneak out of here once you speak to me?
I thought I'd wait until your back is turned, then hide against the wall.
Understood. Mr. Thornton, Michael. As I said, I was able to track down the information you requested. After reading your dossier, however, I had a proposal for you.
So you found out what Halbech is doing in Moscow?
I did, but there's more to it than that. Michael, I'm going to be honest with you. Based on your record and the events in Taipei, I think you can be trusted. I have had dealings with Halbech. In fact, I was their initial contact for smuggling weapons into Moscow, including these missiles you're looking for.
I don't really care. Just transmit what you found to my PDA and let's leave it at that.
Very well. We'll have the information sent to you. And thank you again for saving my life, Michael.
Whoa there, big guy. Didn't see you there. You been there the whole time?
My apologies. Champion Chick is here to see me, Mr. Thornton. If you are going after Braco, then I am in need of protection while you're away.
Nothing better than a walking wall, I guess. That medal for real?
Champion Chick won it in the Olympics. Boxing, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I won some too. In shooting and martial arts. Have fun, you two.
So you and Surkov met at the embassy during the attack.
I could have timed it better had I known the VCI was planning to assault the place.
But you survived, even if many of the Marines stationed at the embassy did not. An unfortunate coincidence. Who knew those mercenaries would choose that moment to attack?
The Marines were doing their job. They knew the risks. And they killed a lot of mercs, so it evens out.
You're surprisingly laissez-faire about the business.
There were higher stakes. If the VCI and U.S. Marines want to kill each other, let them. Not my business.
You're quite the realist. I would have expected more patriotic rage. But you handled yourself exceptionally well. You must have had help. You're truly a skilled agent, Mr. Thornton. But one man against several highly trained squads? No. The odds aren't that good.
I did have help.
Who was it?
An intelligence organization called G-22, led by a man named Albatross.
I see.
Do you know them?
Not yet. Well, if it hadn't been for that attack in Moscow, I doubt if anyone would have known you were in the city. You certainly kept a low profile.
I'm not in broadcasting or marketing, so that shouldn't surprise you.
I don't know. It seems you still make an impression on the fairer sex, no matter what the age difference is.
Who? The little girl with the Texas belt buckle? Can't say I met Sis. It was more like a shootout.
Sis? Who was that? An estranged family member?
Never mind. Guess I had the names mixed up. Who were you talking about?
Z. In mercenary circles, she's something of an... old reliable.
Is that why she's on your payroll?
Ah, so you backtracked that, did you? Very good. But back to the reason you were at the embassy. Surkov. You didn't seem to have much trouble getting information out of Surkov. I imagine you two had a cordial talk while the bullets were flying.
He cooperated. I think he appreciated the fact I acted like a professional. I don't know if he fully trusted me then, but...
But he did tell you who had the Hellbeck missiles. And he gave you a name.
Yes. Konstantin Braco.
Ah, Braco. What is it about the younger generation? At least Surkov was a businessman. They pretend to obey the law. But Konstantin, now there's a story I'd like to hear. Up-and-coming Russian mobster meets rogue American agent. What could the two of you possibly talk about?
How video killed the radio star.
So if you're going after Braco, you can either sneak in or hit the front gate guns blazing. Whichever you choose, I suggest you not go in alone.
Already got both options covered, and I've got company.
What do you mean? Where are you?
Inside Braco's compound. Albatross was nice enough to leave an opening for me.
Mike, the mansion's security systems are a little dated.
So's the decor.
I think I can tap into the surveillance systems and use it to track down Braco or the Hellbeck data. This whole place is wired on one circuit.
Tune into Braco, see where he's at.
All right. I found Braco. Patching it through to your headset. It doesn't sound like he's alone.
What, he's entertaining guests?
No. I think he's murdering someone.
Team Tango 9, tracking bogies.
Mike, I think that's Albatross Braco's torturing.
He let himself get captured? I have no idea how he survived in this business so long.
I don't know. But if he talks, he could expose you. But if he doesn't, then he's dead. Mike, from the sound of it, I don't know how much longer he's going to last.
It's either Albatross or the data, then. Great. Damn it. Where's Albatross?
Albatross and Braco are in the mansion's guest house. If I read the signal right. Mike, you don't have much time.
Albatross?
Mike. I'd get up, but I'm in a lot of pain that I'm trying to ignore.
Hold on, Albatross. Let me get you out of there.
Very well.
Can you stand?
I can. I can make it to the exit. Do not let Braco escape. If he uses what he stole from Halbeck...
I don't think he'll run. He's bound to be pissed, especially after what I've done to his mansion.
Who the fuck are you? Where did you come from? And where the fuck are my guards?
You didn't hear me enter, Braco, and there's a reason for that. Before you do anything stupid, I'd keep that in mind.
Huh. So, what, you already wired this place? Got an ambush set up?
Make a move. Find out.
You came for a fight, you got one, buddy. Put on your red shoes. Let's dance. The jacket. Messed up my jacket. Got all this blood on it.
With that color scheme, how can you tell?
Why the fuck did you come here? Did I kill someone you know? Shoot your fucking dog? Fuck your girl?
I'm asking the questions, Braco. I don't want to kill you unless I have to. So listen to what I say very carefully.
Don't talk to me like I'm some kind of child. Fuck!
If I have to repeat myself, then you're just wasting my time.
Look, I made a mistake before. We can work something out. Not
I hope so. Otherwise I wouldn't have come all this way.
Then, what is it you want? Name it. I'll get it.
Tell me everything you know about Halbeck.
The company? Well, what about them?
You don't even know what I'm talking about, do you? This whole operation hasn't added up since the beginning.
Operation? What the fuck?
Do you know who arranged the Halbeck munitions to be shipped into Moscow?
Surkov. What?
Damn it.
What? Surkov sent you here?
He named you as Halbeck's smuggling contact. Why did you take their shipments and cut Surkov out of the loop?
Me? Fuck that. Surkov is the one who was doing the deal. And he kept it from me. I served that fuck for years. Like a son. Like brothers. And all the while he's bleeding me dry.
So you stole the missiles and the shipping data to make a point.
He betrayed me. You betray me. You suffer. Slowly. Then you die.
Looks like I may need to pay Surkov a visit and chat with him.
Look, this place, that sound system, gifts to you. That shit in my vault, that's only 1 volt I got. I can set you up for life.
If I let you live, you mean?
Yeah, the big if, huh? I wouldn't ask except something about this. You didn't come here to kill me.
Surkov told me that you had the Halbeck data records. That's what brought me here.
Sergei? Surkov was the one dealing with Halbeck, not me.
I know, he told me.
He told you? We worked together for years, and that arrogant fuck didn't breathe a word about it. Or the money. That's why I hijacked the data and the weapons in the first place, to make a point to that lying fuck. But then you come along and he tells you everything? Fucking bullshit.
I think it's your attitude. You're a little loud for his tastes.
Fuck it. I wish you'd killed me. This day has been the shits. Look, we can make a deal, you and me. I pay. All you have to do is let me walk out of here. Never see me again. Unless, of course, you need anything else, maybe.
All right, hand over the cash and I never see you again.
I'll give you the funds I have in Moscow. It's all yours. And if you need a job, maybe.
Not a chance, Braco. But don't leave town in case I have more questions.
Whatever you say, boss. I still need to wrap up some loose ends.
So, somehow you slipped into the mansion without being detected.
As far as you know.
And you avoided his security systems, guards, and gained access to his systems.
Assuming I did any of that, is there something wrong?
Hardly. If you were there, and we have evidence you were, then you must have had a good reason. And I'd be curious to know what you found.
Enough to put you away. You'll see.
Fine. You seem to take pride in being untraceable, Thornton. It's an impressive skill, and one that's wasted in government. Video footage was recovered from the security cameras at the mansion, although not many cameras were left intact.
So why the questions, then? Obviously, you know everything that happened in the mansion already.
Not exactly, because you weren't the only one attacking the place. Just like the embassy.
True. The two missions had a lot in common. Mostly wrong place, wrong time, bad coincidences, all that.
Or perhaps you're not a lone agent after all. There's only so many coincidences that can happen before they stop being coincidences.
Do you think I actually plan these moments? You're giving me a lot of credit for winging it. I'll take the compliment, but trust me, blind luck is more my alley than anything else.
Of course. Whatever the reason, Braco certainly has a way with trespassers. I heard he captured the leader of the attackers. Tortured them.
I wouldn't put it past him. He's got a temper.
So you didn't come across a victim? No signs of anyone being tortured? Nothing you heard or saw?
Being in that place was torture enough, even before the music kicked in.
Then whoever was being interrogated must have somehow been able to get away when you had your fight with Braco. Or they were rescued.
Maybe. And maybe whoever rescued them didn't like the thought of leaving someone to die at Braco's hands. But hey, that's just a guess.
Sounds like someone with a code of ethics.
If you're fishing for information, you're wasting your time, Leland.
Perhaps.
No, more like definitely.
You're a stubborn man, Thornton. So am I. In the end, you found Braco and dealt with him.
Yep. Got the intel I needed, closed the connection, and shut down your shipments. You got nothing.
Yes. How embarrassing for us. Years of work ruined. It'll take us some time to find a new contact in Moscow. If we find one at all. You're thorough, Thornton, I'll give you that. For a minute there, I thought we'd underestimated you. That you might be too dumb to figure it out.
He underestimated me and thought I was too dumb to figure it out. Looks like Surkov's in for a surprise.
Then you have the upper hand. I don't think anyone knows what happened in the mansion, and Surkov's already under the radar.
Might be a little too early for congratulations. I still need to get Surkov. Got a fix on where he's hiding yet?
In doing a background check, I run a batch file to track any connections or equities Surkov has in local companies, especially dummy corporations. One rose to the top. Molotech. It's local, and it's been shut down for months.
Why Molotech?
Because the batch file also checks keycards, cell phone, and internet activity, and all of those have been detected at Molotech in the past 24 hours. And, according to the timestamps, not long after you paid Surkov a visit in his office.
Then we've got a job to do. I'm heading out.
Well, don't just charge in, or it'll be a short meeting. But I don't expect you to listen to me.
I don't really have a choice with this headset. Look, you do your job, I'll do mine. No secretary.
Nothing on radio. Security system's quiet.
Should I be concerned?
You aren't already? Let's find...
Michael. So, you returned to speak to me. Good. I was worried Constantine might get the upper hand, and of the two of you, you are a more reasonable man.
You set me up to kill him. Why?
Constantine is impulsive. While Halbeck and I do not see eye to eye, I am afraid Constantine is much more open to deals than I.
You're not working with Halbeck.
I did.
Then their boardroom negotiations offended me. Michael, Halbeck approached me many years ago concerning weapons trafficking. The relationship over time proved profitable to both of us, until recently. I deal with intermediaries, but they share Halbeck's arrogance and unwillingness to negotiate in a changing market.
Short-term profit in exchange for burning your bridges with Halbeck? Are you sure you're a businessman?
Yes, a territorial one. Halbeck and I don't agree on certain globalization practices. In the long term, our goals with regards to weapon distribution was an inequitable one. Mr. Thornton, we're talking now because I see an opportunity here for both of us to take down a common enemy. Interested? I will only make this offer once.
What do you want in exchange? Immunity?
No, I simply want Halbeck out of my country, which will ensure greater profits for me in the long run.
So we get rid of a greater evil in exchange for a lesser one.
Welcome to the world, Mr. Thornton. But believe me, I seek to strengthen my country, and Halbeck seeks to weaken it.
All right, Surkov. We'll be partners for this. But once Halbeck has answered for its crimes, then...
Agent Thornton, you are a man who seeks to do what is right. I expect no more and no less. I will arrange for the records to be transferred to you. If additional developments occur, I shall notify you.
Understood. We'll be in touch.
Getting situated?
Nice place. I kind of hope this operation lasts a while. I could get used to this. Alright, what do we got?
From the information Shahid gave us, it's not clear what the link is between Halbeck and Al-Samad in Rome. But it does list the local Al-Samad cell leader, a Jibril al-Bara. But...
If there's a problem, just say it. I'm used to it by now.
there's a CIA listening post here in Rome, and it's pretty well staffed. They're definitely running a search on you. Huh. And Al-Samad, it looks like.
What's their chance of tracking us down?
I don't know. You could try to stay below the radar, but that doesn't really seem to be your strong suit.
I could try to talk to them, explain what happened in Saudi Arabia.
I don't think that'll work, Mike. They have orders to detain you, and if you resist, you are on their most wanted list.
So we'll have to be extra covert when carrying out this covert op, which will make finding the Al-Samad cell even harder.
There may be another way to get information we need on Al-Samad and Halbeck. It looks like there's an NSA echelon listening post in Rome. You might be able to access that and use their database to do our hunting for us. It looks like it's in a gelato shop.
You've got to be kidding me.
Stranger things have happened.
So those are my options? Disarm the listening post, tap into the NSA computer, or make a straight run for Al-Bara? What about Halbeck? What's their tie here?
There's nothing about it in Shahid's records. So I did a check of Halbeck employees and ex-employees in Rome. One recent arrival came to the top that I think is worth looking into. Conrad Marburg.
Someone has to. Where can I find him?
That's just it. I don't have much on him, other than he took a commercial flight into Rome. That's why he popped up on the search.
All right. So what's Marburg's tie to Halbeck?
He doesn't have one, at least as of a year ago. He was actually chief of security, but then apparently transferred to working as a contractor for the Veteran Combat Initiative.
That's the same organization that Z works for.
Oh, joy.
She may know something that could help us.
Unless you need advice on implants, I wouldn't bother.
All right. You got a picture of Marburg?
Sending it to your screen now. His dossier doesn't have much on him, and some of the early details seem sketchy to me. Mike, what's wrong?
Something tells me Marburg's our real problem. But let's figure out the Al-Samad connection first. They're a little more knee-jerk than Halbeck.
Do you think Shahid will help?
I'm certain, especially if Halbeck's involved. I'll contact him, see what I can find out about Al-Bara. I'm in. Seems pretty quiet.
It is a listening post. The CIA's upstairs, and they probably have a guard in the lobby, so keep an eye out.
Will do. Going to take a quick look around.
Mike, I've just detected a source within the VCI branch office doing a search for your profile. Although they've got the height wrong.
Why are they doing a search now? They already found me.
It looks like the analyst isn't doing it on company time. I have the workstation called up. It's using the workstation Parker used while he was undercover as a Halbeck contractor.
What?
The ID on the badge used to access the office is a Madison St. James.
What's her role at the company?
A full background check may take some time, but from skimming her dossier, she looks like a new employee.
Got a picture?
Calling it up now. Attractive. Recognize her?
No, I think I'd remember. But if she's tied to Marburg, I think we've got a way to get to him after all. I think I just got salmonella by looking at this place.
Gotta keep the public from dropping in for a cone.
Good point. I'd say their cover is working beautifully.
Okay. You'll need to come up with a good reason to be here. Looks like they're scheduled for server maintenance and security upgrades this month. That might get you in.
I think I can smooth talk my way past them.
Don't play games, Mike. These guys are trained to spot double agents and imposters. If their post is compromised, they'll shut it down, and we'll lose our access. You'll also need to give the correct handshake code to identify yourself as an agent.
Secret handshakes? What are we, the Shriners?
It's a specific passphrase that rotates on a monthly basis. You give the correct phrase, they give the correct response, and you both know everything's on the level.
So what's the code?
Tell them that the Adirondacks are beautiful this time of year. They should respond with, yes, but the Alps are lovely all year long.
Got it. Let's see if anybody's home.
Can I help you?
I'm here to fix the computers.
We don't have a problem with the computer.
I hear the Adirondacks are beautiful this time of year.
I don't like the mountains. And you're here to fix the computers?
He didn't give the response phrase. Something's wrong.
Yeah. Say, about those Adirondacks.
I told you I don't like mountains. Come on. I'll show you the computers.
That's not the response phrase. Stay on guard, Mike. If my code is out of date, they might suspect you're not on the level.
So, my friend, what do you need?
I need to access your Echelon server pursuant to Section G817, subparagraph B.
Section G817, eh?
Subparagraph B. Time is a factor here.
Okay then. So, no more computer troubles, eh?
You should be all set. Fort Meade can rest easy now.
Hey, my friend. Going to go?
Yep. Got a good view of the estate where this meeting is supposed to take place. What now?
Albara's our target. He's supposed to be here tonight.
Oh, I'm glad I brought this rifle. But what's the deal with the scope?
It can transmit images to me in real time. Aim at someone, and I'll run their picture through the database. See if we get a match. The longer you focus on a target, the quicker I can make an ID. The ID is all I need.
And if the target's a scumbag, I take him out?
That's your call. If you decide to shoot, just make sure you don't do it if the target's inside of a camera or another person. We don't know who Albara's meeting, so taking anyone else out may have repercussions, depending on who their friends are. That's Albara. That's him.
Take him out?
Hold on. A lot of State Department and Interpol records. State Department says he's dirty. Interpol says his finances are legitimate, though. And
Nina, do I take him out?
none of these State Department records are sourced. I can't tell where they came from, or when. Best I can tell, their intel was added to his sheet a few months before you left for Saudi Arabia.
He's a member of Al-Samad, right?
I don't know. I'd say yes. But I might be wrong. You can take him out, or we can abort. It's up to you.
No sign of Albara yet.
Maybe he stood you up.
I don't know. Something feels wrong.
Well, stay alert. I'm starting to trust your instincts.
Sorry, that's...
Switch off your transmitter. If you reach for your gun, one of my men will put a bullet in your skull.
So let me guess. This was your table.
Don't make me repeat myself. You've made an effort to broadcast your arrival in Rome. Why?
Broadcast? I thought I was being more subtle than that.
You were obviously trained by the U.S. government. You've left a trail all over Rome.
Actually, you left the trail, or I wouldn't be here in the first place. And now we're having this conversation. I must be doing something right to have you come visit me in person.
You aren't here in an official capacity. You are operating under Alpha Protocol.
Interesting. Considering the program's secret, I would have expected you to say traitor, unless you have insider knowledge.
If you think you're the first to be abandoned by your government, you would be wrong. You are Michael Tортон. Many of the files of your former ops are buried. A field agent.
I'm a spy, actually, but you can't expect me to put that in my file. I'm guessing you're here to confirm the file you have on me. Anything else you need to check?
Reports place you as someone loyal to your country and who believes in carrying their missions through.
Is that so odd?
In today's day and age, yes. But not to me. And you were the one who crossed paths with a German mercenary in Moscow. Z.
I get around, and she was a little insistent we get together.
I am not surprised. She is a mercenary, but hardly professional, or discreet, it seems.
Have you two had dealings before?
Contract disputes only.
So you know a great deal about me, and I know who you are. You're Leyland's right-hand man, his lackey, toady, henchman. And you wear those gloves to keep the blood off your hands. I've read your dossier. You've lived a full life. Kuwait, South Africa, that oil refinery explosion in Moscow. It's like a concert tour with you.
Considering how public your actions have been in Rome, and how many CIA agents you killed, I think you're hardly in a place to lecture me.
What happened to Albara?
Dead, of course. Once you'd ID'd him, well, his use to me was at an end. In less than a day's time, you have already managed to cause me considerable inconvenience. Now, tell me what you're doing here.
Looking to kill every Halbeck stooge I can find and crush this get-rich-quick scheme you corporate drones have planned. You're a smart guy. How do you think this is going to turn out for you? Me, I already have a pretty good idea. What I don't understand, though, is why we're talking at all. Unless keeping me alive is important for some reason.
I have orders, and I am a cautious person.
So am I. And I think we have room to negotiate.
No, I am not authorized to make deals. Besides, I believe you have nowhere to go for help. In that situation, it is a rare man who goes to his enemy's door. So, yes, this is a social call. A warning. You have proven yourself capable, but pursuing this course of action will not serve you any longer. Go underground, hide, but stay out of our way.
Or else what?
Or people you care about will start to die. We know you've been in contact with one of your fellow agents. That contact will die if you persist, and then we will kill you.
Those are your terms. Allow you to carry out your mission, and I stay out of the way.
Yes.
You realize I would be betraying my country.
Yes, and that does not change my terms. I understand your feelings, and I encourage you to set them aside.
So we're done here. I leave Rome, leave you to your plan, and that's it.
Yes. What you do next is up to you, but there are only two immediate choices. Leave, you live. Stay, you die.
I think you're the one who needs to leave. And it's simple, because your boss's plan is flawed.
Really?
Leyland's never seen the world outside of the boardroom or an air-conditioned limo. And he's planning something to change the world? Doesn't seem to me like he knows what he's doing.
Of course. He provided a goal, another provided a plan, I provided the means. We are done here. Leave Rome. If we see each other again, it will be the last time.
You weren't hard to find in Rome, you know. after that debacle at the CIA listening post. Finding you was easy.
I could say the same. I didn't expect a face-to-face meeting.
And that's when you and Mr. Marburg met up and had lunch.
When we talked, he had a lot to say about Halbeck and some suggestions about my involvement with your corporation.
Really? I can rarely get 3 words from the man.
Well, feel free to have him threaten you whenever you get tired of listening to yourself.
I'd be curious to hear more, and your first impression of Mr. Marburg. What did you discuss?
Nothing important, just you.
He described you as a man of your word. Patriotic, I believe, also came into the conversation. But Mr. Marburg was not always the best judge of character. Nor does he instill much loyalty in employees. Speaking of which, this woman entered the picture not long after your meeting with Marburg. She was in our office in Rome. Madison, I believe.
Yes.
I always wondered, did you ever regret getting her into this?
It wasn't my choice.
Oh, Mike. In the end, it was.
I have a problem. The VCI employee I mentioned before, Madison, I think she's going to act.
What do you mean, now?
She's calling the operator and asking for you by name.
She can't be working for Marburg, unless this is a trap. Who is she calling?
The city directory. And maybe the police next. If she does...
Can you intercept the call? Redirect it?
What? Why?
Did you see her picture? No way am I missing out on that action.
Nice. Okay, let me patch her through. Operator?
Miss St. James?
Hello? Yes, is this the operator?
No, Miss St. James, this is Michael Thornton.
Oh, thank God. Mr. Thornton, please, you have to listen to me.
I don't believe we've met before. How do you know my name and why are you calling?
I have reason to believe your life is in danger. I know it sounds crazy, but...
You don't say.
I don't want to discuss the details over the phone. This line may be tapped. She's a sharp one. But it's important I speak to you immediately. Is there someplace we can meet?
Of course. I'll send you the address of a local restaurant.
All right. I still have to hail a cab.
I'll have one sent to your cross streets.
Oh, okay.
I'll see you soon, Miss St. James.
Thank you for meeting me, Mr. Thornton.
Mike, or Michael is fine. So what's this about someone trying to kill me?
I work for the Veteran Combat Initiative, VCI. They're a global military contractor. My boss, Mr. Marburg, I think he's involved in something illegal. So I checked it out, and your name came up several times in our database.
What makes you think he intends to kill me?
Termination contracts. Even one for a man named Albara, a professor here in Italy. It was cross-linked to several contracts within the VCI.
Do you have the contracts? That'd be valuable evidence.
Not on me, no.
I see.
Mr. Thornton, I'm not sure what to do next. Go to the authorities? Is there someone I should notify, or...?
Let's cut out the small talk. You work for Marburg, he wants me out of Rome, and you're sent here as some ploy to get intel on me or take me out.
What? No, you have it wrong.
I'm not done. When you open your mouth again, you're going to tell me about Marburg, his plans in Rome, and then you're going to give me all the passcodes to the Halbeck and VCI mainframes. I'm only going to ask once.
Mr. Thornton, I came here to warn you. Mr. Marburg's dangerous. He wants to kill you.
I know he wants me dead. Now I need to know about Marburg's plans. What do you want in return?
Want? I don't want anything. I just don't want to see anyone killed.
You're doing this just to help me then? No one suggested it?
No, not at all.
I need those files. Are they in the VCI branch office?
I don't know what you're looking for, but the VCI office in Rome isn't Marburg's personal office. He does most of his work off-site, or when he travels.
But he's here now, so where would he store the information while in Rome?
He has a villa. I've been there several times. If the files exist, I'm guessing they'd be there.
Along with Marburg?
Yes.
Give me the address. Can you get me in?
What?
Passcodes, details on the security system, anything would be helpful.
I can give you the address, but that other information...
Trust me, if you can get me into the mansion, I'll get the information, and then your boss goes away for good.
Mr. Thornton, Marburg is... I've never seen him angry, but everything about him... He's a dangerous man to cross.
I'll protect you. If he gets by me, then no one can protect you.
All right. Mr. Thornton, I trust you. If I can help you, I will. I can get you the address to the villa, and the names of the files you need to search for.
Then that's all I need. Come with me. Narcissist much?
Thornton, my apologies for relieving you of your weapons, but after that incident with the CIA listening post, I'm sure you understand.
It's okay. I'll get them back.
Of course. So, I have an aggressive schedule over the next few days. Let's get to the point. Tell me everything you've discovered about our Rome operation. Specifics, please.
I know you're the former chief of security for Halbeck. That means you've most likely taken a job with the VCI to distance Halbeck from something you're planning in Rome. And considering it's the VCI, known mercenaries, it's bound to be something violent, with a lot of guns.
I see. I did warn you not to persist in your investigation.
If people's lives are at stake, you can't expect me to turn away from it.
I understand. I had hoped you would be willing to cooperate, but I haven't provided the right incentive. That was 10,000 volts. Beat Mr. Thornton until he can no longer stand, but leave him able to speak.
Oh, I guess that's that. No, I just need my gear. Mina, do you read me?
I'm here, Mike. Are you inside?
Yeah, but they've got me locked in. Can you override the security systems?
No, I can't patch through to security. I'm sorry, Mike.
Would Madison or Z know the layout?
It depends who you want to help you out, Mike. I can patch Madison through, or I can stay on the line. Just say the word.
Madison isn't trained for this. When push comes to shove, I'd rather you were backing me up, Mina.
All right, Mike.
Got a present for you. Uploading the information now.
Receiving. Sure is a lot of security.
And that's that.
More mob violence in Moscow earlier this week, as the home of Konstantin Brayko, reported to be the head of one of the most powerful organized crime families in Moscow, was attacked by rival gang members.
Brayko himself was badly injured in the attack and was taken to St. Aleski Hospital for treatment. Police spokesmen say he will be charged as soon as he is well enough to be discharged.
Mr. Brayko had no statement for the press, but as he was being loaded into the ambulance, he was heard to remark that the party responsible for the attack was an expletive American commando cowboy like the expletive offspring of Ronald Reagan and an expletive American ninja. Police spokesmen assure us that they are following all leads, but a source within the hospital stated on condition of anonymity that, quote, the man had enough cocaine in him to make a baleen whale see Jesus.
I guess he never heard of Just Say No.
A new museum exhibit has caused chaos in the streets of Rome. The Roman Museum of Natural History opened up its Crusades exhibit earlier last week, prompting claims of religious intolerance by protesters who have crowded the downtown area and even threatened visitors. Officials for the museum defend...
Mike, what did you do?
Erasing my tracks and the weapons.
Mike?
Huh? Oh. Sorry, long day.
I imagine. They're airing reports on a shootout at the ruins, and while they're not admitting anything, the word is that it was a terrorist cell. There weren't any reports of you being taken into custody, though, so I wasn't sure what had happened.
Nothing I couldn't handle. Got shot at, shot back. It's an old story.
You just like to live dangerously, then?
I invited you here, didn't I?
Are you hurt?
No. Just need to get my second wind. I have to get to the warehouse soon before the leads grow cold or Marburg moves the evidence out. I'm still running on adrenaline anyway.
I noticed you had medical supplies in the cabinet. If you want, I could...
I don't need medical attention, I'm fine.
Do you ever slow down? You've been running yourself ragged ever since I've met you. If you're always like this...
I have to be. These people I'm after, they're on a timetable I'm still trying to catch up with.
You'll catch them, Mike. I know it.
I think you're about the best break I've had in catching them since I arrived in Rome. Thanks. You should get some sleep, Madison.
But I don't know what happened in Moscow. There was someone there, a man, Thornton.
Enough about this Thornton already. He's dead. Dead in Saudi Arabia. What about the shipments? I thought you made sure we weren't being followed.
Oh man, Marburg's gonna be pissed.
Madison? Madison, are you here?
Technology news. A string of hacker attacks have recently struck the U.S. Department of Defense.
Anything on the news?
Nothing about Marburg. Marburg was able to get the munitions into the country through Al-Samad, but the warehouse was the destination of the bombs.
He wasn't planning to destroy the warehouse, though, right? Was he planning to store the bombs there, use them later in Rome?
Well, that doesn't make much sense. The warehouse was on the outskirts of Rome. There's plenty of other storage areas he could have used.
So there was something special about that warehouse. Its inventory, it's mostly art and museum pieces, right?
Maybe Marburg despises art. Although after seeing his villa, I doubt it.
I do too. He actually hired me because I'd done part-time work at a museum in Rome.
Marburg hired you because you used to work at a museum?
Yeah, the Museum of Art in Rome. I think they have an exhibit on the Crusades showcased there now. What's wrong?
Some of the pieces in that warehouse. I'm certain they were from that museum.
He's going to bomb the museum. But why?
I have no idea, but that's his target. I need to get there before he does. I'm in the museum.
Mike, I just picked something up on the cameras. It's Marburg's men. They have Madison.
Damn it.
Jim Thornton, you made it. Good. That makes things interesting. We have Madison. She's being held in the west wing of the museum. My men have orders to execute her.
That where your bombs are too?
No, the bombs are with me at the Crusades exhibit. You won't have time to reach both. Either way, someone dies.
You're right about that, Marburg. Why don't you stay put? I'll be right there.
Left or right, Thornton? Your choice. Madison, or coming after me and the bombs. There's not time for both.
Mike, Madison. She's in the wing to your left, but the bombs are in the wing to the right.
Which way should I go?
I don't know, Mike. You'll have to make the call.
Take the stairs to the workshops. There's a tunnel leading to an adjacent building in the restoration room. Go!
Mike, I can't let you...
Go, damn it!
I expected you to carry out your mission. Instead, you let your personal feelings get in the way.
She was my responsibility. I brought her into this.
Yes, you did. Saving her doesn't make you a hero, Thornton. Far from it.
Really?
You've done something to her that will never be undone. You've traded her life for the lives of others. You think that falls solely on you? No, not at all.
Even if the bombs went off, I'll still stop you, Marburg.
No, you won't. There's nothing more you can do.
You blew up an exhibit.
No, I committed a terrorist act in a major European city. Well, Al-Samad did. And it's not just an exhibit. It was a symbol.
A symbol of what? Fear?
A reminder about manifest destiny, blind obedience, and their icons. A man must stand on his own, Thornton.
So says the corporate tool.
I'm done speaking with you, Thornton. Step out with your hands up.
Why don't you come get me?
I expected more from a self-appointed hero. You are disposable and obsolete.
It beats being dead, but you'll know all about that in a minute.
You don't have what it takes to kill me, Thornton. To you, your mission comes last. I throw another hostage in your way and you'll fold.
I guess when you get older, you don't have the balls for a stand-up fight, huh? Keep talking. Lets me know where to shoot.
Enough of this.
Damn it, he's getting away.
There's nothing you can do now, Mike. Get out of there. There'll be another time.
Choice. The woman you placed in harm's way or stopping a terrorist bombing. Oh, if I had been in your shoes, well, I don't know what I would have done.
She took precedence. It was my fault she was there.
Indeed. After Saudi Arabia, I always thought your mission came first. That's what made you so useful.
I still don't see how this bombing helps you.
Really? That's because you have a very narrow view of events.
With someone obsessed with corporate profits over world stability, I'd say your narrow view trumps mine.
I can't expect you to keep up with every news report. I have an entire division devoted to it, plus my ace in the hole. This bombing will reorganize terrorist legislation in the European Union.
So what? How does that benefit you?
The reorganization benefits Halbeck. Surveillance, airport screening tech, weapons. Mr. Marburg's little crusade in Rome has reminded Europe what fear is.
So those people in the museum that died.
That wasn't the plan, but at least you saved one of them, didn't you? I certainly hope you're not blaming me for something you could have prevented, Mike. Oh, how did that turn out, by the way? Saving the damsel in distress and all.
I'll be gone. I don't want you to try and find me. I don't understand why you put me over the lives of those people in the museum. I don't know how you expect me to live with something like that. Or how you can. I can't be there if you have to make a choice like that again. I don't want you to feel like you're responsible for me anymore. Goodbye, Mike. I'm sorry.
Here, what do you want?
I don't have much time. I'm risking a lot getting this message to you, so I need you to listen.
Saying please every once in a while couldn't hurt.
Taipei, Rome, Moscow. As far as the agency is concerned, they've been resolved to Halbeck's satisfaction. Perhaps not ideally, but Halbeck's projections are optimistic.
That'll be fun until the actual war starts. So what, they're just gonna sit back and let the cash registers fill?
Not yet. First they'll delete Alpha Protocol and erase everything associated with it. That doesn't leave me much to work with. And you're all I've got.
All you've got? To do what, exactly?
I may just be wasting my breath. But if Alpha Protocol is erased, then you're erased. Whatever identity you had, whatever life you had, it's gone. You'll be rogue forever. Until someone finds you and kills you.
So I'll be free then. Is there a downside to this? Well, except the death part.
Are you really this short-sighted? After Alpha Protocol is buried, it's all over. Halbeck's involvement will be covered up. The operations in Moscow, Taipei, and Rome will never see the light of day. All we'll see are the consequences. They don't have the full picture. They think they're starting a Cold War that they can live off of for years. If Halbeck isn't exposed, if Alpha Protocol isn't exposed.
Or both.
It's up to you. I honestly don't know if you care. Maybe you'd actually like to see Halbeck answer for what it did. Or maybe somewhere in you there's still some sense of duty to your government. Who knows?
I always wanted to go out with some style. If things come full circle, so be it. But why do you care? I mean, you are Alpha Protocol.
No, Mike, I'm not. And neither is the rest of the team for much longer. What happens next depends on you.
So, just find a top secret facility, God knows where, defeat the folks that trained me, along with a battalion of agents and Marines, recover the evidence of an international conspiracy, and, prevent World War III. Anything else?
If you want more, I'll pile it on.
No, you've made enough of a mess already. It's up to me to fix it before you make it any worse.
What are you going to do?
Call in a few favors. If Alpha Protocol thinks it's the only one with an army, they're in for a shock.
World War III, is it on the horizon? A recent European Union study published by the Scarpaggi Group, a Rome-based political think tank.
A deal gone bad.
Scarlet?
Come in, Mike.
Your door was open. You don't seem surprised. How did you know it was me?
I would have known if it wasn't you. Footsteps are like signatures.
That's an interesting skill to have picked up.
In case you haven't guessed already, I don't have much of a social life. What is it you needed, Mike? Got another story to pass along?
Yes, but it's complicated.
That so? What a surprise. Very little about you seems simple. I was pretty certain you might be Interpol or military. But my gut tells me intelligence. But none of my contacts have heard of you.
Contacts? So you've been checking up on me?
I didn't want to, but you really don't leave me much choice if I want to know the truth.
If I was intelligence, is that something you think I'd tell a journalist?
You tell me. And I'd like you to be honest with me, if you can. I think I deserve that much.
Me? A spy? I can't even get into most nightclubs.
I see. So I checked with my military contacts, and when that turned up nothing, I turned to more corporate interests. And it turns out Halbeck has taken quite an interest in you.
Let's just say Leyland and I don't see eye to eye on business practices. You ever met him?
At press conferences. Quite the snake. But that doesn't explain why Halbeck would be after you.
I accidentally discovered something in Saudi Arabia I shouldn't have. Something that could ruin Halbeck.
What did you find out?
I found they'd been selling weapons to Al-Samad, and I got proof.
Is that why you're here?
I don't trust anyone else with it. And if something happens to me, then the world needs to know.
It's that bad, huh?
Pretty bad.
I'll make sure it gets where it needs to go. Are you going to be all right?
I have no idea.
Do you need to leave right now?
No, I can stay. For a little while if you need me to.
Considering I might not see you again, I'd like that.
The world can wait, then. Guess the old man gave me a false number.
Communications decrypted. Signal established.
Albatross? You don't look so good.
Agent Thornton, Mike, my apologies for the poor connection. It's the price one pays for privacy. I can only spare a few minutes, so tell me what you need, quickly.
I'm infiltrating the Alpha Protocol facility, and I need your help.
I see. This is sooner than I expected. If you think I know the location of the facility, I can't help you.
I can get there. What I need is whatever intel or manpower you can provide, once I'm inside.
If you can get in and transmit the location. But once you transmit the coordinates, you'll need to buy yourself some time before I can intervene. May I ask why you're infiltrating the agency? It seems counterproductive, not to mention the low chance of success.
No time to explain. I was hoping the coordinates of the facility would be enough to buy your assistance.
You don't need to pay me, Mike. An alliance with you and your continued survival has proven to be in my best interests. When I was at Braco's mercy, you chose to intervene. I've not forgotten. And you spared Sis when you had no reason to do so. Now it is my turn to help you.
You're not getting compassionate in your old age, are you?
Consider it a payment for services rendered. One doesn't kill the golden goose.
Or an albatross. Seems doing both would be unwise.
I would agree. Once you reach your destination, we shall prove it. Until then, I shall ensure the south wind is at your back.
Enjoy your flight. I'll see you soon.
Welcome, Agent Thornton. This is the meeting I spoke of long ago in Saudi Arabia, I believe. I have much to share with you.
Is it about Halbeck?
A portion of it is, yes. The rest concerns its partner, your Alpha Protocol program. But that will cost you.
I don't have much more to give, Shahid. And I did spare your life before.
You know as well as I do. These events that Halbeck has set in motion, they are not well researched. They are conflicts. And then there are wars. What they have started, it is a fire that will sweep the globe.
And that concerns you?
When these events will make my country suffer more than it deserves? Yes. And when another may shoulder the rightful blame? Again, yes.
Rightful blame.
Indeed. Are you prepared to betray your own country, Agent Thornton? When I speak of blame, it is the United States that is the one responsible for these events.
I've come this far, and I'm already acting against its best intentions, apparently.
And you have no doubts on this?
As soon as they conspired with Halbeck, they ceased being the government I'm fighting for.
Even though you once owed them allegiance?
My duty isn't to them. My duty is to make sure no one uses other nations as a playground for their financial or religious agendas, especially if people get killed because of it.
I see. You are an admirable man, Agent Thornton. I misjudged you when we first met.
I don't think so. And after this, we're through. So if you're thinking of replacing Halbeck and causing more trouble, I'll track you down, with or without Alpha Protocol.
Very well. You should know the Alpha Protocol you are under. It is designed for such abuse, and you are a victim of it.
I know, but I walked into it, and it's my job to fix it.
I see. But you have come for help, or simply to call a favor due. I have information that should be of use to you in hurting Halbeck. Accounts, transactions, and knowledge of their involvement with your program. And of course, the missile codes you asked for. Although I fail to see what use they are to you.
That's a start.
A start?
Yes. I need you to broadcast something for me. I have a suspicion that's going to cause quite a stir where I'm headed.
Did you take care of what you had to do?
Everything's in place. How about you?
It shouldn't be much longer. This better work, Mike. If it doesn't...
Goodbye, Mina. Mind if I sit here?
Go ahead. It'll save me from having to call in the squad. All done running?
Never was.
Yeah, well, whatever you call it, I'm here to bring you in. Glad you're not making a fuss about this.
I called you, remember?
So, here we are, Agent Thornton.
Guess you can go home again.
If by home you mean prison. Mr. Westridge first spoke to you in this room, didn't he?
Interrogated, actually. It was a really dull conversation.
When he asked you why you volunteered for Alpha Protocol, do you remember what you told him?
I think I told him I was in for the action. Sure feels that way now.
I want to serve my country. And you think by being assigned here is the best way to do that?
Give me a mission and I'll prove it.
Well, that didn't turn out like you thought. When the reality met the expectation, reality won out. There's a lesson there, I think. You see, that's what I find interesting about you as a case study. When it came down to it, you found your job was more important. The mission. Maybe a hint of duty. We all imagine how we'd act when tested, but not many people ever get the chance. You did. Did you like who you became, Mike, when reality came knocking? You'll have to excuse me, but I asked for this next part to be recorded for posterity. I wanted to make sure it's captured perfectly.
It was worth it. I'm gonna see this mission through, Leyland. Henry. I'm gonna see you arrested for those people you killed and see that Halbeck answers for its crimes.
Really?
Count on it.
All right, Thornton. I think you misunderstand me. You see, I'm not here to gloat. I'm here to offer you a deal.
I'm not giving up the film footage, see?
I don't care, Mike. That's a separate appointment in my calendar. Right now, we're discussing you and Helbeck.
What are you talking about?
If you stay here, it isn't going to turn out well for you. The best you could have hoped for was to be captured by Alpha Protocol. Then they can erase you, quietly. To me, that seems like a waste of talent.
Really?
Really? Do you know why I used you in the first place?
I'm all ears.
Because I recognize an asset when I see it. That is the reason Helbeck is where it is today, and why our numbers are so high. It's also why Mr. Marburg chose to work for me. It's because I recognize value, and I reward loyalty.
You're offering me a job.
Mike, you already work for me. I just like to make it official. We have an excellent insurance package.
What makes you think I'd even consider that?
Because you can't go back. You killed CIA agents in the line of duty. Those Marines you killed in Moscow. No American agent gets away with that in the end. You're not pretending to be a rogue agent anymore. You are one. They'll execute you. Me, I have a different perspective on the situation. I know what you did needed to be done to achieve results. It's a rare quality to find someone willing to think outside the box.
I still haven't heard your terms yet. And it sounds like you've made this offer before.
This was the same talk Marburg and I had a long time ago, although I didn't know his agency connection when I hired him. You're a special case. I was able to recruit right from the source. So, a few things. One, you're going to be executed at worst, or at best, spend life in a CIA prison in Eastern Europe. Two, this will be the last conversation you will have with another human being. And three, it really wasn't my fault that this whole situation happened, but I think you already recognize that.
Not your fault? Oh, of course not. Not the missiles, the killing, the world destabilization for profit. Nope, you're blameless.
Mike, your government needed my contracts. They hired me to build this place, and worst of all, they created you.
Worst of all?
Yes, because when they create programs like this, there's no accountability. And when people never have to answer for the things they do...
People need to be protected. Sometimes it's necessary.
No, it's not. You're sitting in a cell because of it. Your life over. Because of something they did, they'll never have to answer for. I can fix that. We can fix that.
How?
Make them accountable. I don't need Alpha Protocol anymore. It's going to be shut down, sanitized. But if selected footage reached the world about its presence, well, that might be the best for all parties.
What? So you can make new hostilities, drive up sales?
My role in this is already protected. You got my missiles back. Shahid is dead, and all your operations in Taipei, Moscow, Rome, it didn't change anything. I can give you freedom, a new lease on life, even a villa of your choosing anywhere in the world. All I need is your cooperation. So, is it a deal or not? A future or no future at all?
So, I say yes. Now what happens?
Any moment, soldiers are going to come through that door and take you back to the medical bay you started this whole business in. Me, they could care less about, as long as I'm still around to negotiate with senators and forget I ever saw anything here.
So all I need to do is escape. And then... what?
You have friends as well as enemies. One will contact you soon enough, I imagine. You're resourceful that way. You won't have much time until they sanitize this facility and destroy all the existing records. You'll need to get that data, and I doubt the staff will allow you to reach it.
So you want me to expose this place?
Yes, I have a vested interest in seeing this program be dragged out into the light.
All right.
There is one other thing. Miss Tang, Mina, the one who helped you, I'm afraid she'll have to be killed.
Why?
If you need a reason, speak to her. You'll understand why after the conversation.
I doubt it.
We'll see. Are you ready, Mike? The grand finale's about to begin. Once the soldiers come through that door, it's going to be you against the world.
You know, I don't like you much.
This, Mike, is business, and I really don't care. For the record, I think you're a pain in the ass, but I prefer to see results, not let emotions bleed into it.
Let's get this started then.
I almost feel sorry for them.
Don't. I'll make it quick.
Agent Thornton, allowing yourself to be captured, making us go through the effort of bringing you here. Well done.
It was the only way to find this place quickly, and I knew you were looking for me. It seemed time to kill two birds with one stone, pardon the metaphor.
Indeed. Well, as I said, well done. Well, I confess I'm disappointed things ended like this. I was hoping to convince you to work for us. If not Halbeck, then the VCI. But that would depend on you.
Not a chance.
I don't expect I'll see you again, Agent Thornton. Your mission ends here.
Doc will be along in just a bit to administer your meds. Nice knowing you, Thornton. Detonation sequence initiated. This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill. Detonation sequence initiated. This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill.
What the hell is going on in there? Once you're armed, get to the Global Monitoring Center and hack into the system. I'll do what I can to assist you. What the hell is going on with the electronics in here?
This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill.
Damn, which one?
Last chance, guys. Back up your files.
Agent? Or is it just Mike Thornton now, with the rank stripped away? Never understood why we had titles anyway. Meaningless. I don't understand why you wanted to speak to me. If you think I can help you, you're wrong.
We'll see. I think you'll want to hear what I have to say. Parker, the plan you arranged with Halbeck, it's not gonna work.
Really? Doubtful. I thought there was a chance you might return. You are resourceful, even for a rogue agent.
Well, I have you all to thank for being rogue, don't I? I thought it would just be a cover, but you made it real.
If you blame me for this, then you're in error. Miss Tang is to blame.
You're saying Mina gave me up, and she ordered the missile strike?
The first was done by her, yes. The second was the result of orders we received. She was not responsible for that. I would have preferred you return here, where you could be monitored. As you can see, letting you run around is dangerous. And, well, despite your flaws, you are a valuable resource.
Somehow I'm not surprised. Never got the sense she liked me much.
What do you want? There's little I can do for you, so make it quick.
Why did you try to kill me in Saudi Arabia? I know you sent the coordinates to Halbeck so they could drop a missile on me.
To kill both you and Shahid and erase the evidence of the missiles, yes. The math was logical. But I'm not surprised you find it confusing.
So you never even asked. You compromised mission data to a contractor. Why?
Compromised? No. As I said, I was ordered to. As much as you were tasked to kill Shahid, I was tasked to kill you. A waste, but all evidence of the sale of the missiles was to be deleted, including the agent. That's why you were the new recruit, the one to take the fall. Halbeck's interests had to be protected because it's our national interests.
So that makes Leyland in charge now? Of an entire branch of a U.S. agency?
No. We were ordered to assist him in recovering his missiles, in assassinating Shahid, and then killing you. He was given access to the facility and our resources.
But why?
Why did we cooperate? There's no reason to ask why.
You can't tell me that you didn't suspect something was wrong.
Nothing was wrong, Thornton. As I said, Halbeck had proper authorization. They asked permission, and they got it.
And Westridge didn't object?
No, because like me, he follows orders. We were asked to get an agent to do Leyland's job and to contract me for my services.
Services? What services?
I was asked to isolate events in the world and create triggers. While many of these triggers would benefit Halbeck, a great deal would benefit the United States. China grows more powerful by the day. They are Halbeck customers as well, and if they are reliant on Halbeck technology, they are reliant on us. Even better, if they can be lured into action in Taiwan, well, then it buys us time to build strength.
And Moscow? Rome?
Rome was a reminder to the rest of Europe. Moscow, a necessary distribution center.
And the people on the airliner in the Middle East?
Those deaths, they are nothing compared to the death toll that would follow if these steps were not taken.
So murder's your business, Parker. Funny, I didn't see that in the job description.
How ironic. I could list the deaths you've caused in the name of world peace, and it far outweighs anything I've done.
Whatever. You're a murderer. The title fits.
I wouldn't expect you to understand, Thornton. But yes, the government asked me to design scenarios to promote America's position in the world, and to strengthen Halbeck as well. It was the most interesting assignment I've had in years. To use my analytical skills for something besides system maintenance or compiling budget reports. For a project of my own. So yes, I accepted the assignment, and I did what I do best. Analyzed.
Parker, it's not too late. There's no need to side with Halbeck anymore. They don't give a shit about the United...
It's not my decision, nor yours. This conversation is over, Agent.
Damn it. Parker.
You made it out, I see. Resourceful. But before you get to the server room, there's one last loose end. Miss Tang. She'll need to be dealt with. If we let her live, shutting down Alpha Protocol won't matter. We'll soon have other problems. Looks like Parker's been keeping himself busy. I'll have to terminate his contract.
Expected Halbeck to turn on us sooner than this. Hurry and set those charges.
He's wiping the databanks. Stop him before he destroys the evidence, or we'll have nothing.
Out our air support.
Of course. Otherwise it would have been too easy.
Head for the wreckage. Some G-22 may have survived. If not, there may be supplies.
Not a chance. Now that I've got your attention...
If you're gonna kill me, then do it.
I'm not sure I want to. Yet. I guess I need some closure. I couldn't have made it into Alpha Protocol if you hadn't chosen me. What I want to know is why.
I needed someone who could kill Shahid, get the missiles back, and keep their mouth shut. I needed someone I could trust.
I didn't have much choice. Orders and all.
That's your defense? Then it's mine too. I had my orders. We carry them out, send out agents, and we don't ask why. Say what you will. You had what it took to get the job done, and then some. That's why you were selected.
It was my life.
What life? You knew the odds going in. You wanted to serve your country. Well, this is it.
If I stayed in the program, I'd have ended up like you. Or worse, like Parker. Then someone would have come along who owes one of their corporate buddies a favor, Halbeck or someone else. And we get used because we've been conditioned never to ask.
So you're working with Halbeck now? Figures.
We were all working for them. Now I've just removed you from the equation.
What? You gunning for a job? Halbeck's new chief of security?
My goals are a little higher than that. Any last words?
Yeah. Go to hell.
Not the best I've heard, but Yancey Westridge, I'm placing you under arrest. You're going down with the ship. They may not blow this place, and if they don't, then your home is going to be a courtroom for the next few years. If you even get that far. They'll probably claim you were acting without their knowledge. That you enacted Alpha Protocol, went rogue.
Where are you going?
Now that I'm out of the box, it's my world now. I helped shape it. It was easier than I thought. And it's time to make some changes, I think. Give me a year or two. I'll have enough on Halbeck that I'll be running the show. For now, Chief of Security in a villa in Italy is enough for me. And who knows? When they make another Alpha Protocol, maybe I'll use it, just like Leyland did. Opportunity knocks, Westridge. And it's people like you that leave the door open. Either way, you'll answer to me eventually.
Agent Thornton, I see you have the evidence.
It took some doing, but here you go. Keep it safe. Or not, depending on how you want to use it.
I'm still debating that part. I think it'll depend on what happens in the next few hours. If there's nothing else, shall we?
Here's the thing, Leyland. I don't really need you anymore.
Oh? And how do you figure that?
I traveled all over the world to stop you. You think I didn't make a network of my own? I have Surkov in Moscow. Shahid and Al-Samad. They may not like me, but both are willing to do business with me. I've got one of the highest ranking officers of the Chinese secret police on my side. Stephen Heck. G-22. Z. So, I don't need you anymore. I can make my own Halbeck. Then I can make the world any way I want.
I see. So, you're going to kill me then?
No, just leave you here. You're responsible for this whole mess, so I think it's better you stay and answer all the questions that are gonna come out.
And what makes you think?
See you, Leyland. You taught me a lot. Now I'm gonna teach you a few things about how to shape the world. Can't say I'll be sad to leave this place, although knowing where here is would be nice. Guess there's not much else to do except head out and see what happens. Story of my life. No sense changing it now. Then again, maybe losing myself for a while might not be so bad. Now the only challenge is to keep from getting bored. At least now I've got time to figure it out, and maybe change a few things about the world while I'm at it.